Yeah, must be time for the Nielsen ratings. Okay, that title sequence isn't finished yet. All right. Okay, so welcome to episode 128. Let me bring in two of my other regulars. Northern English for start, and of course my regular co-host, Stupenzolicious. How are you both?
Tickety boo.
Yeah, what's up? Good. It's so hot in the UK right now, man. Tonight feels like hotter than normal.
Yeah, well, we have a little small mercy for anyone who hits the heat. It has started raining a tad bit.
Oh, where are you?
Hull.
Yeah. Well, it's often raining up there, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah. But it's been a while. For the first time, we've had a pretty deep.
We only did 3 hours and only talked about Spider-Man. But yeah, so Thursday we'll just fire it up at 6 p.m.
And I was pissed off at you, Stupenzo, because I was hoping to get in the chat as well this yesterday morning. But no, you already had to finish early, didn't you? Yeah.
We're going to do it Thursday. We'll have plenty of time to watch everything Thursday if we start at 6, so it'll be good.
I got on it because I was on it I couldn't sleep. And I woke up.
So first when I started the stream, there was a buffering issue. And it happened to Nick, too, yesterday, where, it's buffering on YouTube. And I don't know, you had to refresh your page and wait a while, and eventually it fixed itself. And I think that was a YouTube or StreamYard issue. Then Lance came on, and then after you left, my internet just cut out. We watched one movie trailer for Onslaught, then my internet just went down. And to be fair, that's happened a lot to, other friends of ours, like Leon. It's happened to him multiple times. It happened to Sammy on Saturday, and it happens to Kata a bunch where, the internet's out, no stream today. I always feel sorry for them. This is the first time it ever happened to me in all the years and all the shows, so it's bound to happen eventually, so whatever.
Yeah. Well, okay.
It was good, though. I had Sunday off all of a sudden. I did some chores. It was, I had no internet, so I just pulled out, the old hard drive and watched Inception with Mom. And then when she went to bed, I just watched a bunch of Riff Tracks movies. Well, I was just,
old school, unplugged.
Yeah, waiting for the internet to come back on.
Critic, what stuff did you watch this week, apart from what's already up on the titles there?
We'll talk about those two John Carpenter movies, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
They Live and Goes to Mars, because there's such a contrast between them.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can do that. They Live, I think, came out in, I want to say, 89.
87? I don't know. It was late 80s for sure. Look.
It definitely wasn't 87. It was either 88 or 89. And I think Ghost of Mars came out in the 90s sometime.
I think, was it 2000? Was it 2000?
Oh, man, 2000 maybe.
It was around about that sort of time they were doing the Resident Evil movies and stuff like that, and that Doom movie.
Right.
But John Carpenter, the thing about Ghost of Mars and Halloween and all of his movies is whether his movies are good or bad, he always has that great anamorphic widescreen 35 millimeter camera, and it makes everything look better.
It was 1998. Ghost of Mars was 2001.
It makes everything look better.
Stupenzo, what else have you got to mention tonight? I'll just add in.
Well, I watched a good movie, I watched a okay movie, and I watched a fantastic movie.
Can you just give me the names quickly?
No.
I want to add them to the scrolling graphic, so if you would.
All right. I watched Soulmate with an 8 instead of an A. And then I watched Spider-Man. And then I watched Stop That Train.
Okay. Or my mum will shoot. Not that movie, I hope.
No, Stop That Train with RuPaul.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds even worse. Oh,
it
God.
was the funniest shit I have seen in years.
Yeah, but you say that about every film, Enzo.
No, if you like Airplane, and Tu Wong Fu, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. And I showed it to a bunch of people in my Discord, and we all laughed our asses off. Like, it's a legit funny movie.
All right. Well, before we get into the other choices, one of the pieces of homework for last week was to, if you hadn't seen it already, was to watch the movie Once with Glenn Hansard, who we sadly lost last week. Glenn was also in Alan Parker's The Commitments. That was actually his first feature film role. But he was very, very active on the Irish folk scene, Irish folk music scene. He also had a band of his own that toured around, was very successful. And then sometime in the early 2000s, they were trying to, he'd co-written this movie called Once, which he'd done some of the music for with a friend, and they were trying to get Cillian Murphy to play the lead. In fact, he was attached for a while. Ultimately, he decided not to do the film, and they couldn't get big money for the movie, but they were kind of all in at this point. So the producer asked Hansard if he would do the male lead, because the guy had to be able to play a guitar. That was kind of one of the things that the role required. So Hansard reluctantly stepped in. There's a key song in the film called Falling Slowly, which became this massive worldwide hit. That then led to Once becoming a stage musical on Broadway, the first run of which had, remind me of her name again, Christine Liotti, was it? Stupenzo? The girl from Penguin?
I don't know.
I told you this the other night.
Milotti.
Christine Milioti.
Right, yeah, Christine Milotti, the girl from Penguin, actress I really admire. She was in the first run of the musical of Once. She can actually sing and play the piano. You can see her version of Falling Slowly on YouTube. Hansard was sadly coming back from a rehearsal last Thursday, and he had an accident on his motorbike and he was killed. His service was actually today in Ireland. The cathedral was completely packed out. Among the guests who spoke included U2's Bono, so he did a little speech, and also the whole service is on YouTube. Once is an interesting film for me because I remember watching it with somebody, and I knew that there was a story connected to that film, but I couldn't quite bring it into focus. And it wasn't until I checked with the girl I was seeing at the time, who I'm still in touch with, who's still a really good friend of mine, that I realized it was me and her. We saw the film together. I actually bought the DVD from a charity shop, and that was how we ended up watching it. And then we kind of Googled it on YouTube because we really liked that song, and that's how we found out it had been this big sort of tiny mega movie hit. So it's like this little indie movie that went and made all this money. Luke, you just watched it for the first time, I think.
Yeah, I did. Do you want to hear my thoughts on it now or later?
Well, that'd be the idea, yes.
Okay, yeah, I really like this movie. I think It is incredibly charming. There's bags of charm in it. I love the lead too. I mean, they've got some great chemistry together, and there is a humbleness to it as well, which I kind of loved. And you can really tell the people on this were kind of probably didn't have the money or most of the permissions to do a lot of to close off the streets to do these a lot of the shots. That's why most of the time it looks like the shots are kind of that far away, like someone's just recording them, these two random people for some reason. But I don't kind of like it. It's almost a little bit voyeuristic, a little documentary kind of has a bit of a documentary feel to it, but it just kind of adds more to the realism a little bit. And like I said, there's this very sort of humble charm, and it's not incredibly mean spirited. It's really feel good. I mean, you feel happy by the end of it, and I do kind of wish they got together because these two are so fucking adorable together. They really are. It's like watching it's like Clarence and Alabama, but without the violent swearing and Elvis delusions. It's I really I like it, and I'll happily watch it again. On the day when I'm feeling a little bit down, I just need something nice and simple to watch. To sort of like because. Yeah, I can't watch the nihilistic stuff all the time, or people blasting.
No, man, that's not good for you to do that.
Yeah. I wish there was something else I could say about it, but nothing I could think about. The songs are really good. The actors are on point. I just love that feeling of realism to it as well. And if I had to nitpick a little conveniences when they're going to go off the lawn at the bank, and how convenient the banker is into music, and he probably had dreams of being a musician, and he felt very sentimental enough to sign on the loan. But it's a tad little nitpick. It's that kind of film where it's just a feel good film where you kind of got to let it go a little bit, and yeah, so yeah, I give it a good vote for 5 out of 5 anyway. 5 out of 5.
Out of 10.
Yeah.
Out of 10, mate. The rating.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll give it a good 10 out of 10 because it knows what kind of movie this is. It's not trying to be, it's not pretentious. It's not trying to, it's not trying to be a big, weepy, hat tugging Oscar winner. It kind of, it manages to do it without laying the sentimentality on too bloody thick. And I admire it for that.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Normally we do ratings when I round up, but that's fine. So, Stupenzo, did you see it or have you seen it previously?
No.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Critical?
Yeah, I'd never seen this film before. I think I'd sort of heard of it. I think I'd seen something about it.
Yeah, I heard about it. I've heard
this is not really my kind of music. It's not really my kind of film, but I did enjoy it.
So you watched it. Well done.
Oh yeah, no, I watched it. Yeah, it was homework, and it wasn't absolutely horrific, so I watched it. It was like. I see what Northern's saying. It kind of felt documentary or like real life reality TV.
That's what they went for purely because they didn't get the budget because they didn't have the star.
Yeah, so, it doesn't feel like actors, but he does a good job, I thought. Yeah. The songs are actually quite amazing, I have to say.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they? They're really good.
Even though I don't know the songs, and I don't normally listen to that kind of music. I know good music when I hear it, and that is damn fine, songwriting. So I really enjoyed the film, to be honest. I found both the characters really good. It didn't try and be over the top sensational or like, sort of try and do anything particularly ambitious. It's a nice, simple story about two people who show their feelings through music, and the music in the film is great. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I don't think it's the kind of thing that I'm going to be like, oh God, it changed my life or anything like that. But I certainly enjoyed what it presented, and it's a decent film.
Great stuff. Thanks, Al. Admiral Teag, have you seen it?
I have not yet had a chance to see this movie, but my condolences to the actor's family and friends. I'm an American of Irish ancestry, so I have great appreciation for the music of my ancestral homeland, but I was unfamiliar with this movie. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's on YouTube for free, by the way. YouTube. Right.
This is the sort of thing I would be interested in checking out, and will. I look forward to seeing it. And again, R.I.P.
Okay.
Stop driving motorcycles.
Yeah, that's also a pretty good idea.
I think he was quite known for it as well, wasn't he? Because he does it in the film.
It's how you're gonna die. How many people do I know personally that have died from motorcycle accidents? Like 5, 6? Who are famous people that have died in motorcycle accidents? Treat Williams, Dwayne Allman.
Wow.
I say probably more people have died in car accidents than motorbike accidents, to be fair.
Well, yeah, but the
by
percentage,
sheer number.
the likelihood of getting in a fatal motorcycle accident is extremely way more higher than dying in a car crash.
There's a reason why motorcycle insurance is what, like 5% of car insurance as far as damages and personal liability. It's like, you're not going to make it. There's 10 grand for your burial, and that's it. They're very dangerous ways to get around. I agree.
All right. Well, we're not here to debate motorcycle safety. So
I had
talk about films. Let's move on.
There is no debate. This is a PSA.
Yeah, it's a PSA. It's a PSA from Enzo.
Stop fucking driving motorcycles, idiots.
They're the cigarettes of transportation. You don't need them.
So, if you want to see a film with bags of heart, and as we said, it's kind of a romantic drama.
Charm. I really like the two leads.
Yeah, you can't do better than Once. They actually started dating when they did the tour for the movie.
I can totally believe that. I mean,
he was in love with her for a long time, but when he first met her, she was a kid and he was much older, so he never really felt comfortable with it. He said that in interviews. No, nothing happened. He met her when she was a kid, and he knew her for a very long time. And over that period of time, he started falling in love with her, but he was like, "This is wrong. I've known her since she was a kid." But they didn't actually date until after the filming was wrapped on this. So he'd known her for I think at least 10 years before the movie was even shot. So you can make of that what you will, but I kind of think it's actually quite sweet. Yeah, we're not covering the Odyssey today, Leroy. We've already talked about that twice, in fact.
Yeah, loads of people are talking about it to fucking death. Can we just move on to another movie, please? It's
we've made it back to Ithaca.
Yeah, the scene in the music shop is it's really, really good. I love that scene. It's one of the best scenes in a movie ever, actually. Just kind of the way that all plays out so naturally.
Yeah, there was one bit as well which almost made me laugh because it was so believable, and that's when the guy in the studio, I don't know if it's the music producer or something like that, but he was like, "Now we'll listen to it in the car because we've listened to it on these £1,000 speakers." Yeah, because I remember a documentary on Noel Gallagher talking about when they were making the Definitely Maybe album, and someone's to listen to it in the studio. They were like, "That sounds fucking amazing, that. Now let's go listen to it in the car." Shit, it sounds absolute shite. But yeah, that's true. That's kind of true. That, and I love that little detail they put in there as well. So it shows that.
Yeah, I love the way that he thought they were just another bunch of no talent, useless people, and he was like, these guys are wankers. And then sort of like when he heard it again, he got his mind changed by the music, and the music affected so many people in the film. You could see the way it affected Glenn's character's father and all sorts of stuff. So
yeah.
It was really cool. It was weird how they didn't have names. Did you notice that?
Oh, Christ.
Do you know what? I didn't actually. Isn't that funny?
Yep, they don't have names in the film.
I don't think they need to either, because these two could be anybody. That's it. These two could be anybody who just
I presume that's the idea.
Yeah.
But no, it's just guy and girl. So yeah.
So
I realised it's a really simple little film. It's not got a high budget or anything, but the soundtrack to it is great. I mean, that song, like point the boat in the right way, and I had that stuck on my head for ages.
Oh no, it's so good. Falling Slowly is such a good song. Rating out of 10 Al. How many owls do you score it?
How many owls? Yeah. I give this an 8. again, purely because it's not my kind of film. It didn't change my life. Maybe it's just because I don't get emotionally attached to these things, but it is bloody well made for what it is, and the characters are great and the songs are great. So yeah, solid 8 out of 10. It's a recommendation whatever way you look at it, whether you're into these kind of things or not. And I'm not into like romance films and stuff like that, but I found something about this that I really thought was really charming and a lot of soul to it. I really liked it.
Yeah, I think there's one more thing I would like to maybe add. I mean, when I was watching this, I was almost kind of going back to the Miyazaki films like Kiki's Delivery Service, where it's just people just living their lives and that's it. You know, there's no full on strict 3-act structure here, or if there is, it's very sort of like very a bit more subtle anyway. But it was just like watching just two people hang out and live their lives, and that's it. You know.
Yeah.
And that
it's like the bit at the beginning where he gets robbed by the.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Oh, me, I'd be smashing his head with a guitar. I wouldn't be taking pity on him. Vocal art.
Yeah, and it's only like £5, and
it is a good bit of
desperate for it. He lets him have it. You know,
yeah, it's a good bit of exposition that is a total sucker, and we should bleed him dry for everything he has. Ha ha ha. But no, it's good. It's actually good exposition on the character. It's a visual exposition. It shows he's a decent guy. You know, he's got.
Well, this is it. Yeah, it's showing, not telling. You don't have somebody go, "Oh, you're the kind of guy who do this." He just does it.
It sets his moral compass for the movie.
Yeah, not me though. Smash his skull with the guitar.
Set him on fire. I mean, I think he wrote it as well, didn't he?
He co-wrote it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he co-wrote it, and he wrote the music, etc. So, yeah.
Oscar winner, apparently. I don't remember it doing that, but apparently it was an Oscar winner.
Yeah, no. Watch the Oscar clip where
won the Oscar for Best Song.
Yeah, did you watch the clip where he did the speech, and just before the actress was about to do it, the music cut her off, and Jon Stewart actually had to bring her on later on just so she could give a chance to finish the speech that she wanted to say. It's,
oh, really? No, I didn't see
that.
Yeah,
I was kind of pissed. Yeah, he did his speech, and then as soon as she went to the microphone, the music hit, and I was like, "What the fuck, man? Let's speak." And thankfully, Jon Stewart, brought her back on later on. She did a speech, and yeah, it was a nice little lovely speech. You know, follow your dreams, blah blah blah, all that stuff. You know, and but God, man,
yeah, Jon Stewart's got weird views, but he's a nice, polite guy from Long Island. He'll still make sure you get a chance to, have your moment like that. He'll do cool things like that.
Right. Well, it's good that somebody does. Yeah. Okay. I mean, my rating for this out of 10 is a 9. And just think it's a beautiful, sweet film. And if you're only going to watch it once, that'll be okay. Let's move on. We've got to talk about Spider-Man. Spider-Man does whatever an Enzo can. So, who saw the original Spider-Man cartoon series when it was repeated when you were a kid?
I saw that, and I saw the dodgy 1978 TV show.
Oh,
yeah, me too.
The 78 one, was that Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends?
No, he's talking about the live action.
No, that was the one with
the live action with Peter Hammond. Yeah. No, I saw that.
Amazing Friends is like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah,
before they start doing
terrible. That's terrible. I
like the original. I think it's hilarious.
I like the original cartoon show with all the psychedelic colors, the really cool music, the really cool villains.
If I didn't see that after school, I would get so upset and cry. That was my ritual. That and Star Trek. And
yeah,
Batman.
I've watched it. It's it's pretty good for its time as well. And I can't remember if I like that better than the Nazis one. I love the Nazis one, but it always kind of felt like he was rushing around a bit so much and not giving you a chance to breathe the way Batman the animated series did. You know, it's but it was still cool. It was still cool cartoons for watching the 90s every Saturday. You know, it's so I don't hate it so much. You know.
So let's talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day. Holler loudly if you saw this on the big screen.
I saw it.
Saw it on a big screen on a very small.
Okay. Right.
I saw it on the big screen on the day of release in a full cinema that applauded at the end.
Oh yeah, you did, Al. That's right. It was packed out, wasn't it?
It was sold out. It was literally completely full. I've never seen.
Did you have a lot of
like
annoying kids in there?
No, everybody behaved. I couldn't believe it. I don't know if it's just because the film was so damn entertaining. There was a couple of guys next to me who were talking like geeky comic shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I let that go, but because I only talked a little bit. But no, everybody was very well. Yeah, it was. But everybody was very well behaved. And yeah, I think in general, it's just everybody was engaged by the film. So yeah.
What country did you see it in where people applauded?
To see the two guys that came on for my 5th year anniversary in the chat. Thanks for being here.
Nottingham.
So you saw it in England. Okay, I heard British audiences are far more restrained and unlikely to applaud a movie. So
generally that is the truth.
Bollocks.
Yeah.
That's utter bollocks. We will applaud a movie if a movie's good.
I've only seen about 3 or 4 crowds, I would say, applaud in my time. But this is one of them. They absolutely loved it.
My theater was packed.
I saw an audience applaud recently for The Odyssey.
I saw the audience
that.
applaud.
No, the Odyssey was half full, and there was no applause for me.
I got applause in my Odyssey screening. My go ahead.
It got an applause at the
My theater was packed for this one, but there was like reactions. People had the oohs and ahs, but the dragged out wait for the after credit scene, which was a letdown, like I said, trumpet to leave. So, I'll leave out the details, but nobody stood up and applauded in Queens, where Spider-Man's from. And I mean, like Spider-Man, like Peter Parker may have been in the theater, and no one cared about his ego. It was a good movie though. But there was
you got to end on a high note. You got to end on a high note, and the end credit scene, like waiting all the way to the end credits for that end credit scene was like, first of all, I like the idea that we're phasing out like the importance of these end credit scenes. I don't like end credit stingers. I don't like how they're like
should
a
have just put up
prerequisite.
the end though. Like, take it easy on my bladder. That movie was 2.5 hours long, and like you could have cut 20 minutes out. You really could have. It wasn't perfect.
Oh yeah, the movie. It's funny because I felt like the movie dragged more than the Odyssey. I was like,
there are times where I felt challenged to get through a segment of the movie for something to happen. There was like never for long, but there was like 1 or 2 minutes where like they need to have something happen, and then it did.
I liked the movie. I mean, like when the Punisher and Hulk and Spider-Man are all like going at it, that was impressive and that was fun and that was cool. And I think of like the Odyssey when they like hoisted a sail, like that was impressive and cool, and it was just I don't know. I like comic plucky relief Punisher more than insane screaming crybaby PTSD psychopath Punisher. Punisher is I don't know. I think the best line in the movie was "You blushing daffodil." That was my favorite line in the whole movie. And then he made chili and what else? Like Punisher. Frank Castle was good. I just don't like how John Barenthal's always got to do this like this head bob. Like, let me tell you something, boy. Like, oh yeah, he's just got this mannerism he can't shake.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, where he kind of leans slightly back and looks down his nose.
Yeah, and he's always got to like stare off and not really look at somebody when he's talking to them, and then he kind of glances at him occasionally, and he's just, it's just a vibe.
I watched this at Stupenzo's urging, and I was pleasantly surprised because this is the first superhero film I've seen in probably, I don't know, since Black Panther 2. So it's quite a while. And Spider-Man, by the way, when I was a kid, Spider-Man was my favorite hero. And I kind of thought this was a good self-contained Spider-Man movie. I mean, it might as well have been called Spider-Man and the Punisher. But it was a good self-contained movie. I kind of missed the self-contained movies.
I mean, just like Wonder Man, which I didn't think needed a second season, but I liked Wonder Man a lot because just like the Spider-Man movie, no homework. Like if this was the only Marvel movie I had ever seen, I wouldn't have been too lost. You were able to follow the movie and know who's who, and it's. Like I said, people are turned off by these homework movies, these like not homework movies, but like a movie you need to do a bunch of homework to watch and understand.
ties into loads of series and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like
there could have been some nonsense about Mayor Fisk and like hit the Kingpin being in charge of New York could have caused Parker a lot of problems. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the rumors was that Daredevil would be in it, and I'm glad he wasn't, to be honest, because it's already got, in my opinion, a few too many cameos as it is. So
yeah,
they did commit the more ginger side, ginger erasure, because that police officer lady, that's his Commissioner Gordon. She is supposed to be a redheaded white lady, so chalk it up to the list of victims. I didn't really think that. I mean, I like her. I like that actress. She's in The Bear, but how does a tiny woman like that, who spends all of her time like hanging out with her kids, rise up to detective? It's just one of those things where
I was wondering who that character was. I was wondering who the fuck that character was, because she just gets
her
shoved
name
in there,
is like DeShark. Her name's DeShark or something like that.
Yes, you're right.
I almost assumed it was like going to be Miles Morales' mother or something like that, or something. But and they were going to introduce him into this MCU, but I guess that wasn't the case.
Well, when he said, "Oh, you don't even know my kids' names," I was like, for sure one of them's going to be Miles, and it wasn't. I was just like, "Oh, okay." Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a little creepy too. It's like at the end, it's like he knows. It's like, what, I would not want Spider-Man to be overly personally knowledgeable of my family, because when they grab him at some point and ask him, "Who do you know that we can hurt?" It's like, well, Aunt May is not around anymore, but you know what?
It's like a common theme of every Spider-Man story is like protecting your loved ones, but keep them close to the chest.
This is a very different Spider-Man. I'm glad they took away some of the Iron Man powers. He has an AI. Okay, I have an AI. I'll let it go.
Yeah, but
that's one of the cool things I thought. Sorry,
well, interesting questions about how does he afford this stuff? He's got this awesome computer system. It might be from Aunt May's inheritance or something. But there's also, the AI stuff. It's like, yeah, he doesn't have Tony Stark AI in his headpiece at all times, but he practically does. And also, I felt like the AI was a really cheap way to just keep recapping what's happening.
Oh, it was an exposition dump for sure.
Yeah, calculating distance 33 feet. Just like
that was
just
dumb.
All right.
That was one of those moments. And so you're right about the relationship with money being really weird. I'll throw this one to you. Do you think they chopped out a J. Jonah Jameson a cameo and maybe a Bugle storyline? Because Spider-Man has no means of having any money. And even though his apartment's even worse than mine, like I live in New York, you need some form of income. Is he stealing the drug dealer's money?
He's got a brand new Galaxy's Fold. He's doing all right for cash, whatever he's doing.
Frank gives him some of the money from the drug dealers he kills.
It's got to be, yeah. Either that or he's got a Spider-Man OnlyFans.
I think they chopped out a J. Jonah Jameson thing to expand more, maybe on other stuff. I don't know what storyline they expanded at the cost.
I know we're not doing spoilers right this second, but I will say that the ginger character that they did put in it felt very, very added in.
I'll also, not spoilery-ish, say this. In this world, right away, Spider-Man's held in a very high level of regard with absolutely no critics whatsoever, which is totally not Spider-Man in that one aspect.
Yeah, he's a menace, right? They needed more.
I thought it was very impressive that I've seen an awful lot of films that try to do as much as this film did. You think about the amount of narrative threads, the amount of characters, and the amount of character work that it tries to do with established characters you've actually got. And for the most part, there's a couple of problems with it here and there. It pulls it off. It's not another sort of Batman versus Superman or Spider-Man 3, where they're just trying to cram so much stuff into it that it doesn't end up working. All the through lines worked and everything. It was fine.
I feel like I'm one of the few people that did not like No Way Home. I thought No Way Home was stupid.
It was
nostalgia, wasn't it? It was just nostalgia.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, I know it was bad because I saw it with spoilers. I knew the spoilers going in. If you saw it opening night and had no idea Willem Dafoe and all them were going to be in, that would have been crazy. But the thing is, it's all surface level stupid shit, and you watch it knowing that's coming, and you're like, this is dumb. And so I did not like it. But I would say I like this. I like Spider-Man 1 and 2 and Homecoming. I liked Homecoming more than this one because, like, that one scene where Michael Keaton is talking to Tom Holland in the back seat of the car.
So
like, that is so good compared to,
I kind of thought we might get him in this film, actually, to be honest, but we didn't. So, there you go.
I know, because it doesn't really pay off the bloody Scorpion end credit, does it? I mean, just he gets it taken on in the montage and he shows up again, but his mind is being controlled. And
Scorpion might show up later. Scorpion might be back in another movie, but like, we gotta stop. Like I was saying on my show before fucking internet cut off, like we have got to stop. Yeah, like it's like that meme I shared. It's like not only stop turning heroes into antagonists, but it's like Marvel wants to hold all the good villains close to the chest and build up to them. Because we gotta but all the heroes we can just like fan out like a deck of cards, like keep giving us all these superheroes willy nilly, but like the villains, like they keep, especially the Spider-Man villains, like for instance Jean Grey, like we were talking about who's a villain that like Mr. Negative could have been a great villain, but he was in the video game, so that wouldn't have worked. And then there's also Spider Queen, she could have worked. Just there's other psychic. Telepathic characters that you could use that are villains. But then, of course,
I mean, they did that for one very, very specific reason.
Scorpio was the best villain in it, and I really liked that actor as well who played him.
You see, what I would have liked is the bit at the start of the film, sort of the opening 15, 20 minutes or so, where he is battling all these low-level villains and everything. I would have liked that to have been about half the movie. Yeah. I felt we got past all that way, way, way too quickly.
Yeah, and all the comic book montages, comic book cover references were great. And
exactly. But it's so brief.
We saw Tombstone for half a second. I like the idea that we see Tombstone just for half a second. It's like, whoa, yeah. But at the same time, this movie feels like three kind of short movies, and it does drag a bit. But yeah, the Hulk, it's the whole movies we're seeing just for the Hulk sequence. Like I thought that was excellent.
I think the action in this is the best I've ever had.
Yeah, the movie felt well directed.
Daniel Cretton, who apparently did Shang-Chi, but his direction in this is amazing.
Well, it was like they're not. Yeah, the movies aren't looking like Marvel movies. This felt like a movie. It looked like a movie.
Yep, totally.
It wasn't.
It's weird, isn't it? Because Sony on their own can't get it right. Marvel on their own can't get it right. Put the pair of them together, you get this. Mental.
This was my favorite actor in the film. And for those people who are thinking he looks familiar, he played Nacho Varga in Better Call Saul.
He was the bad guy in Far Cry 3.
Yeah, but I thought he was really great. I really liked that montage at the beginning where they showed like just Spider-Man going about his business and defeating a few different villains. And frankly,
good song choices too on the montages.
Yeah, and
normally I fucking cringe at music.
It would be good to see a movie that was just about that. Frankly, I would
like at least half this film to have been that.
I didn't think Jean Grey was a particularly interesting villain. She was surprising in the sense I didn't really see her coming. I forgot that they existed in the same universe as well, but I don't associate her with being a Spider-Man villain. So I was far more interested in the scenes with Scorpio. I also thought the dynamic between Punisher and Spider-Man was a bit weird because at one point he nearly kills him. And that just didn't seem to be that realistic, really. And then they're talking like they're buddies.
See,
and then
he knows that firing a grenade launcher at Spider-Man point blank is going to kill him.
Right.
So it's still pretty rude.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the Punisher. The Punisher's not known for his manners.
Yeah, no, he's kind of he's a bit of a dick, isn't he? I mean, he's there's no filter to the Punisher.
I was fine with the Punisher. I thought it was quite funny.
The gag where Spider-Man takes away his grenade launcher and he pulls out a fucking exact duplicate of the same grenade launcher. That was funny.
That's the thing. The Punisher is always prepared, so it makes that kind of thing makes sense to me. I'm like, cool.
They did have a good dynamic, though. They really did. These two.
I thought they were great.
They sort of brooding. Maybe
Spider-Man works.
With this very more optimistic Spider-Man. Yeah.
Well, I like the idea that Punisher is kind of like softening around the edges around Peter because he's like a young kid, and he's like not
as long as they
to be
don't take
too
away
much
his
of a hard
guns
ass.
like they did in the comics. That's the main thing.
Right? Yeah, give him swords and stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to see Ninja Punisher.
But like Spider-Man's great because he pairs off with anybody. He pairs well with anybody.
Yeah.
He pairs well with Deadpool and Wolverine and Daredevil and Hulk, Punisher. Doesn't matter who you pair him off with. Like he's easy to bounce off of.
I'll be honest. After this film, Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man. I think
what
he absolutely
did people
knocks
think
it out
of
of the
Fair
this?
to say. It's fair.
What did people think of this sequence with these ninja guys?
Well,
this
the
is
end
what
fight,
there
ninja
was a
fight was
hidden
great.
character underneath. You see
Okay,
this
so
big
one-
space at the bottom.
One at a time.
You see this big space at the bottom. Everybody thought there was a character hidden there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was included.
No, they're just recreating comic book stuff. But yeah, I thought the big fight of the hand fight scene at the end was great. It felt like it was contained in that little jail cell set, and it just felt like it felt real. It wasn't like a lot of practical effects in the movie. It wasn't like
they do
overly
stuff straight
CG.
out of the video games as well. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh yeah, I mean I heard. I like the Insomnia game. And yeah, it definitely felt like they were going for that kind of Peter Parker, And the thing about Spider-Man is like, of course, this movie's going to do well. It's going to do amazing because Spider-Man is the comic book character for normies. Like everyone loves Spider-Man. Like when you ask Spider-Man, Batman, or Superman, most people say Spider-Man, and most of those people don't even read comic books.
Yeah.
Most of those people, but Spider-Man's the easiest to pretend to be a fan of. Spider-Man is the easiest to know the basics of because he's like kind of a newer superhero compared to the other two. And
Being
the
younger
big thing
helps as well because it makes him more accessible.
Yeah, he's more relatable because he's a normal guy with superpowers. Like the DC superheroes are like demigods, They're American mythology.
He still goes around and makes quips and jokes and all that kind of stuff. He's not, he's still very, very relatable. I think he is the most relatable of all of the superheroes. People might like Batman, but he's a super rich guy. We can't relate to that.
So comic book IPs, I was talking about this on Sunday. Biggest two are Spider-Man. Number 2 is Batman. Yes. How much do you think a year? How much do you think Spider-Man makes a year just from the IP, just from merchandise and shit?
$3 billion.
Billions.
No,
I say
it's
about
1 billion.
3 billion.
So it's $1 to $1.5 billion a year. That's number 1, Spider-Man. So how much money do you think Batman makes a year?
$750 million.
400 to 500 million. So that's like a huge drop from number 1 to number 2. It's crazy.
Batman hasn't had a how can I put it? A 4 quarters or 4 quadrant movie, or whatever you want to call it, for a long time. Like the last Batman movie was no good for kids. No good for kids at all.
You're correct, but you know what? The thing is, Spider-Man has always been much more of the New York Yankees of merchandising, and he like you said, the normie thing can't be underplayed. Everybody knows who Spider-Man is. Batman, yes, everyone knows who he is, but people they love Spider-Man. I don't know. There's something about him.
Also, girls can wear Spider-Man merch. Girls don't wear Batman merch a whole lot. Girls also like if you want like a generic Marvel merchandise thing, you're probably gonna have Spider-Man on a hat or Spider-Man on a shirt.
I got one, but do YouTubers really count?
Dude, I went to Walmart because I saw some Spider-Man shirts there a week ago. And then for my stream, I was like, oh, I got to go back to Walmart anyway. Let's get a Spider-Man shirt for the stream. They were all gone. All the Spider-Man shirts. They had like 2 variants and multiple sizes. They were all gone. So I
for those who saw it at the cinema, how many attendees did you see wearing Spider-Man shirts?
Lots.
At least half of the cinema.
And they were all, dude, like a fucking fat chola. Fat Mexican gangster bitch wearing Spider-Man sweatshirt. Oh, what's so funny?
Not so much in Nottingham, but yeah.
Well, what's so funny is
people going to the movie wearing Spider-Man gear. I mean, like, there's maybe 100. There's like 300,000 people moving through Times Square at any one given minute. You know what I mean? Everyone's there. and like every 10th person had Spider-Man stuff on. I couldn't get a seat. There's like dozens of theaters in Times Square. It's like your Leicester Square.
Talking about Batman merchandise and women, this is one of my co-hosts on the Monday Night podcast at the minute, and she is a mad Batgirl fan.
Cool.
So there you go. So she's on my Monday Night podcast, Kelly. So yeah,
she won. She got my vote for best location. By the way, anywhere she goes is going to beat where you guys are. I'd rather hang out with her.
You know what's funny is my tiny theater that I go see movies in. They don't really use I don't know if the air conditioner is broken or they just don't use it, and it gets like pretty warm in the theater. And I feel like a lot of new people, because I go to the theater often. And you could tell there were a lot of people who were used to going to the Cinemarks and the Tinseltowns and the big chain theaters, and they were coming to this theater, I assume, because all those showings were sold out. So they were coming to my tiny theater, and you could tell a lot of people were like not used to the old system, you know, no reserve seating. Like, I'd like to buy a ticket. I'll be back in 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, well, you know. You want to get here early so you get a good seat, you know? And he's like, and then a lot of people were doing the thing where they're like bundled up because, the air conditioning is going to be really chilly in the theater. No, it wasn't. It was fucking sweltering in there. And people were definitely complaining on social media. Like some people went to the 9 o'clock showing. I saw it at like 6, but some people went to the 9 o'clock showing and they were like, Jesus Christ, that theater was so hot. How dare you? You're trying to kill us?
Yeah, we saw it at 7 in the evening, I think it was. Yeah, I think about 7 in the evening. It was absolutely rammed. But I mean, they had multiple showings on at the same time in the cinema, and I don't remember the last time I saw that even.
Critic, Northern, you haven't had much of a chance to get a word in. What were your thoughts?
I have done this. I have done a review on this already, and the thing is, it started off really well. I mean, I was really digging it. Everything, seeing Bruce Banner kind of portrayed with some kind of dignity again. You know, seeing the Punisher and Peter Parker sort of, just bounce off each other. And even Zendaya kind of endeared me a tiny bit more than usual. You know, I mean, that scene where she says she's not the same girl he knew, and it was kind of heartbreaking to watch. And yeah, she's right. And but she's even when she finds out that he erased their memory to protect her, she doesn't become spiteful. Is like, that wasn't your well, she does say it wasn't your choice to make, but she still understands why he did it. You know, she doesn't act like a total bitch about it. But it's the whole Jean Grey, showing no remorse towards putting people in harm's way, killing a homeless guy by forcing him onto the street, and then
or at the very least breaking his pelvis. You know, people were like, he didn't actually die. Well, he fucking got fucked up. I mean, God.
Yeah, no, she still put him in harm's way deliberately. She threatened to fucking throw MJ off a building. You know, she doesn't seem to show any remorse whatsoever, and we're expected to feel sorry for her, and it just killed all that goodwill I had.
And like everyone's already pointed out in all the plot holes, like why doesn't the bad guy just hop around people in the building and just like hop into the main dude? And the thing is, you don't even need to break into the safe. You could just hop into someone's mind and see what they know, and then you can leave, and they wouldn't even know that you mind raped them or whatever. You know, you would just need
exactly. All these rewrites, it could have helped this character. It would have stopped this character coming across as a psychopath, and
the thing is, she was put in at the last minute. As far as I'm concerned,
it was.
She was not the original villain, I don't think.
Yeah, and this is introducing the X-Men into the MCU properly, unlike Deadpool that kind of did it in a more comedic way. And this is how you do it.
I did like all the Fallen stuff with Denzel Washington, like how she hops around. I thought that was great at the beginning. You know, and I do want to rewatch Fallen. Like, that was the thing about watching Spider-Man. I was like, I should rewatch Fallen. That was a cool movie with Denzel.
Yeah, I would have been fine if she faced some accountability.
Well, yeah, she's probably going to be sentenced to going to the.
I was just like, really?
Yeah, she'll be sentenced to going to the School of Mutants, and that's the other thing. Frank Castle does this twice. First, he does it with Zendaya. I like her. I see why you like her. They did the same thing with Supergirl with Lobo. Like, Lobo's got to be like, this character is cool. I like this person. You should too, audience. So the Punisher does that with
they did it first with Thor, with Captain Marvel. It's like, I like her, even though she didn't really do much to
I like
make
this
me like her
because she talks shit. Yeah, so Punisher likes Zendaya. He has to, say that. And then at the end, when he says, hey, that Jean Grey, she's all right, actually. It'd be like, no, it's like, hey, she's all right because she helps, save your life, Peter. It's like, dude, like Punisher should have been like, I held a gun to Jean Grey's head to make sure she saved you. Like, that would have worked better. Like,
but then they wanted to try and redeem her, didn't they? They didn't.
Punisher's right.
Job.
I love the scene at the end with the hospital, Frank Castle. Like, all my favorite scenes involved Punisher, or at least most of them. Even though the Punisher was totally kind of out of character, like I said,
I feel
great
like for what he was. Honestly,
I feel like it's less of a disgrace. It's less of a bastardization than turning him into what we've seen previously, which is like insane, literally insane PTSD psychopath. Like I like the fact that the Punisher.
He was in those he was in Spider-Man comics anyway, wasn't he, Punisher?
Yeah, he's been in there before. But I like the idea that Punisher is, kind of like Batman. Like, yeah, he's a little crazy. Yeah, he's got to be. But I don't like the fact that he's literally committable. Like, you should put him in a straitjacket because he has like visions and stuff, and he needs to be medicated. I don't like that.
Also, I'll tell you one other thing that I never thought this would happen. Zendaya impressed me.
Yeah, I like
Zendaya can act. I had no idea she can actually act.
She's the youngest 2-time Emmy Award winner, alive ever. So, this idea that she's.
The thing is, I actually saw
on that one. I'm gonna bite my tongue until it's my turn on that one.
No, the thing is,
like, if you haven't seen her in Euphoria, then you haven't really seen her do a proper character with a proper arc, and really, she's got some fucking acting chops in that. This is a superhero movie where the acting required ain't like Oscar-worthy stretch. So,
well, there's the scene where
Euphoria, then tell me she's shit, and I'll believe you. But I don't know.
Well, there's the scene where MJ is like jumps off the building, and you could see her, do the whole, emotional, ring around the rosy type thing she does in a few seconds. That's
that's not the scene I'm talking about the scene with the Punisher. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I thought he was good as well.
Yeah, he's all right. Okay, all right. Well, I don't want to spend any more time on this because we've spent probably about half an hour. Ratings out of 10, please, gentlemen. Luke?
I got to give it a very low 3 now. I mean, I really wish I would have done. I want to give it higher, but yeah, sorry. You can hit me all you want. I don't give a shit.
What did you give Supergirl?
I might give it lower. I can't remember.
Supergirl was awful.
Way worse than this.
Yeah, dude, you can't give Supergirl higher than this. That would be.
See, I was saying Odyssey was a good movie, bordering on great. It might be great. This was a decent movie, bordering on good. It has some big issues that are hard to look past.
I think it's
rating out of 10.
Okay, I'll give it. I'm going to give it 3 because it pissed me off more because I was enjoying it, and then that fucking twist villain thing happened where I had to feel sorry for it, and it just ruined it for me. Supergirl, I knew that was going to be shit anyway. So,
so these ratings are out of 10. So that's 3 out of 10.
Yeah. I'd give it like a 6 leaning into a 7.
Okay. Critic Al?
I think it depends on how you're judging it, really.
Well, you're just judging
I've not enjoyed a film like this
for
a long time. I thought the acting was great. I thought the action was great. The script could definitely do with a little bit of a tune-up, but it attempted a lot, and I think it did a really good job with what it was attempting. I would give this. I mean, I think it's I think it's better than No Way Home. I think I would probably give this a 9 out of 10. I really was impressed.
Admiral Teag.
Could I just give like 1 minute instead of 5 worth of thoughts on this? I'll just really quick.
Yeah.
The Punisher, the comic relief. Okay, the Punisher, the comic relief thing was much better than getting rid of him. And because Bernthal showed that he has some acting range, it actually did sort of work better than it should have on paper. That's a horrible idea, and I disagree with it in principle, but it did work. Tom Holland has come into his own. If he's somebody's favorite Peter Parker, they have a defensible hill to stand on now. He has the best New York accent of anyone who's ever tried to do it. He now is better at it than what's his name, Demi Moore's boyfriend, that Andrew Garfield. Zendaya, look, I know that she has talent and she's been good in other stuff, but in this movie, she was simply written around. Her not knowing Peter Parker has all been leading up for her to be able to have a less limited spectrum of reactions. When she tells him a bunch of world-breaking stuff and like mind-blowing and like soul-destroying love stuff and things that would really hurt a normal person, she continues to stare flatly at him and goes, I don't even know you. I was ready for the next line to be, that's my purse. I mean, it was so Bobby Hill. She didn't have any relationship with him at all, and she only kind of knew who Spider-Man was. She had no clue who Peter Parker was. She might have known there was a Peter Parker. It was a little nebulous. They didn't stick to their own rules. I don't want to go too crazy about it. His money relationship, yes, weird. Web swinging, best scenes ever.
Yeah, that was great.
The problem was, like they said, Luke speaks for me in a lot of things. Moves to grandiose scale really fast is the one I would add. You know what? If you want to go do a movie in Queens and not film any of it in Queens, they went to the one spot that moviegoers around the world would recognize. You know, you can make a scene on top of the Silver Cup Studios, and you know what? You can make it memorable just by going there, but there can be only one that's the best. This wasn't it, but it was still good. I liked seeing them there. It's a sign I can see from my house. It's a real New York.
Where'd all the Marvel movies film New York? It's all Canada, right? Or
this one was a different part of Canada, but Canada, yes. And but last thing, please, can we have Sydney Sweeney as Black Cat if we're going to keep going down this road?
Just I know, right? She's not Emma Frost, so definitely. Black Cat, please.
Yeah, Black Cat's perfect. She does martial arts. She's kind of limber, and we get to see her in that outfit. I mean, so that's, and my rating is the same as Enzo's. It sits between a 6 and a 7. I thought 9 is far too glowing. It's as good as some of the Tobey Maguire stuff, the better Tobey Maguire stuff. Now it's tied. He's tied to my heart with Toby.
Yeah, okay. I was mildly entertained. I'm glad that MJ didn't remember him really quickly. At one point when they sort of went down that road, I was thinking, oh no, this is terrible. But then, of course, they turned that around, so that was good.
Yeah.
I like the actual proper villains from the Spider-Man lore. I didn't like Jean Grey being in it or being in it as the villain. It just, all of that stuff for me was quite weak. But love Scorpio. Thought the action scenes were okay. I mean, there's a lot of like what I call massive super explosions that would kill lots of people in reality, but have minimum casualties in this universe, if any. And I noticed that they were very, very keen to sort of really not show you any civilian deaths, although a couple of people do get squashed by a car quite early on. But you know, apart from that, it's sort of like, yeah. So I'll give it a 7. It was a relatively pain-free reintroduction to superhero movies for me. I'm
no
not
homework.
More.
No homework. Great web slinging stuff.
Yeah, that was all good.
No homework was huge.
All right. Okay.
Big problems though is if you're a huge comic book fan.
Spider-Man.
We're gonna move on because I feel this film is vital for us to talk about. Stop that train.
This dude, we want to talk about the good shit. This is it. This movie is a fucking 9 out of 10, dude. I'm being serious. This movie was so funny. I watched it on a whim, out of curiosity. I saw the trailer a while back, thought it looked interesting. And yeah, it's the director of the remake of Hairspray. And it's RuPaul's Drag Race. So if you're familiar with the show, I'm not. It's a lot of characters and actors from that show. But it's basically Airplane on a train. Airplane meets Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. So it's this weird movie. They're on a runaway train because of a weather phenomenon known as a storm of Ganza is coming. You know, the train is headed right for disaster, and the train has no way to stop, and they got to stop it. But it's just starring a bunch of drag queens and tons of celebrity cameos too. But like, yeah, for some reason, all the stewardesses on the train are drag queens, and they don't mention it either. Like they don't draw attention to the fact that it's all a bunch of ugly men and women in makeup and women's clothing. But yeah, a whole lot of gags. Like it's one of those Naked Gun style. Like I saw it twice. First time I watched it by myself, I laughed my ass off. Second time I watched it, I showed it to like a handful of people, just to make sure I wasn't crazy. And yeah, everyone liked it. Everyone laughed a bunch. And I actually laughed more the second time through because there's like a bunch of jokes I didn't catch first time around. And the absurdity of it all, I think, was compounded the second time I watched it. So yeah, Stop That Train. High recommend. It's also, yeah, it's very gay. It's very retarded. It's very funny. And it's not woke. There's no political pandering in this whole movie. Dude, it is so funny. And it's like, yeah, we're treating... Yeah, dude. Dude, the idea that
leaning into it.
Drag queens are no longer they're not being treated of like pillars of society in this movie. They're treated like they should be. Degenerate clowns. That's what drag queens have always been. And it's funny. And Sarah Michelle Gellar plays herself. She's hilarious. There's a scene where like, someone
I can hear those pictures. I can hear those
gay
pictures.
Dude.
It does not sound good.
There's a gay guy who's a passenger on the train. He's hilarious. And there's like a scene where he sees Sarah Michelle Gellar sitting in the chair and he's like, "Oh my God, are you?" And she's like, "Yes, it's me. But if you don't mind keeping a low profile, please don't make a big scene. I'm trying to, not draw attention." He's like, "Are you in my seat? I had the window seat. Get the hell out of my seat, bitch." Like, it's just, there's so many jokes like that. Yeah, what's her name? Nicole Richie. She's funny. She's like, "Could you help me with my mother?" And she's got this elderly lady next to her. And the attendant's like, "Oh, of course." And then the camera pans down and she's dragging like her mother's coffin in behind her. And so they grab this coffin and they're putting the coffin in the overhead storage bin, There's so many jokes. Like, the train's headed for disaster. It's going to tell it to me straight. The train's going to crash and kill a bunch of people. Now tell it to me gay. Girl. Oh my God. And like they drop further, it's like, oh my God. It was insane. This is definitely turn your brain off, have some fun, have some hilariousness. Chris Parnell's great. He's the conductor. Then they've got the three caddy bitches who are the first class attendants. And they look down on the two new girls who work in coach, and like their catty, like bitchy exchanges with each other are just like legendary. I think the movie's definitely worth watching.
Excellent. Would everyone like that as homework for next week?
Please, God, no.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You will thank me.
Listen,
I promise. You will come back
defense?
tomorrow. You will come back next Tuesday, and you will be like, "You were right. The movie was fucking funny."
No, he's right. Can I make a statement in context about this movie? I have been familiar with RuPaul's comedy since the very late '80s, when her short comedy independent films were shown at the rave scene in New York City. These movies were 5 to 8 minutes long and shown at the Limelight. She had an almost John Waters kind of ability. They weren't that extensive, but we're talking comedy shorts, pretty funny commercial satire. RuPaul is not about trans identity or any sort of politics. She is they are a professional entertainer who prefers to go out there and just lean into their identity, accepts their absurdity. And this movie is not going to. This movie has a very high likelihood of simply being funny. Enzo's probably right.
Oh, I don't know, man. I can't handle the mannerisms. It's like those
clips going to be like Airplane.
London plays in his videos, and I just can't handle that. I just can't. Oh, girl! Oh, you know it, yeah. And I'm like, no, fuck no, please, God, anything but that. So,
this looks just like my friend Fiona. Okay, all right. So, what was your rating out of 10?
Dude, I'd give it a 9 out of 10, man. It was a stupid, retarded movie, but I was laughing like, a mile a minute.
Is it better than Scary Movie 6? Because that was absolutely
it's better than Scary Movie 1 and 2, dude. It is funny. Well, it is hilarious.
We ain't going to talk about any Scary Movie today at all.
The director has other hits to his name. The director has
chat briefly about Horizon American Saga, because I will promote this every chance I get, and I'm going to start doing it again. So it's now available on Amazon. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it because it's excellent.
Is he getting to make the second one, or
the second one is completed? It's shown at the Venice film festival. And that's part of the reason I wanted to talk about this. So what they're doing is they're rolling it because it died at the cinema. Terrible timing. We were still kind of. We weren't still in the pandemic, but people people hadn't gone back to the cinema yet when they released.
Isn't it also like 4 hours long?
No, it's not 4 hours long. It's long, but it's, you know, I mean, look, people went to see Braveheart. People went to see Ben-Hur. People went to see The Godfather and still go to see The Godfather. It's not about the length of the movie. This came out. Westerns have always been tricky to market, and they're never huge. They're never the runaways. You know, you've got to market them and build up an audience for them slowly. They didn't just like drop Unforgiven in 1,000 screens. What you do is you take a film to a few festivals, spread good word of mouth, then drop it in a couple of big cities, build it up there, and then release it wide when everybody's talking about it in a positive way. Now, this has had mixed reviews. Some people really love it. Some people like it. Some Indians are, sorry, Leroy, but mate, you're living in fantasy land. Some Indians were bloodthirsty and did attack homesteaders and things because they were invading their land.
There's a reason why people were terrified of the Apaches.
Yeah,
they were doing it to each other
they
as
are
well.
Apaches in the.
But they were doing it to each other before the white people even stepped in America.
Yeah, we were trying to help.
I mean, look, I don't want to get into all of that, but I think the portrayals in the film are realistic. And it's well done. But the second film is out there. But now I read today that Portugal's going to get it before everyone else. Why? I have no idea. I don't know if there's a big
very interesting
Portugal
choice.
Western fan base. Maybe there is, and I'm just not aware of that. And there's lots of people going to line dances in Portugal or something. but it is a good film. If you haven't seen it, do watch it. The great thing about it, yeah, okay, it's a bit long. It's a bit Godfather in length, but it's so well made. It's really good. It's got a number of great scenes. It's got some great actors in it that you will never have seen before, or you might have just seen them in some bit parts and things. And then you've got a lot of actors that you will know from various other shows. Now, Sienna Miller's in this. And I remember when I went to the cinema and I was watching this and I came back and I saw something about Sienna Miller being in Horizon. And I was like, I don't remember her in Horizon. Who was she? And she plays a homesteader as Luke Wilson. And I mean, this is all, there's no CG in this. These are
we talking about
locations.
part one? Part two is not out, right? It's not coming out.
Right. So this is part one. Part two is completely shot.
Right.
But they're not going to release it until this has found an audience on Amazon, because they want the views to be substantial. So they're trying to build up the audience for part one on Amazon and see how many people release. This is the son of Russell Means, by the way.
Cool. Great actor.
Dances with Wolves. Yeah, I know. This kid, Jamie Campbell Bower, is
the guy who played Vecna in Stranger Things.
In this movie, this kid
he was pretty good. Yeah, he's actually very good at playing villains because he's like such
an
incredibly good-looking guy, isn't he? And then, but when you give him a very menacing role, he kills it. It's a shame he's only really in it for a short while, but he sells every scene he's in, though. He does.
Yeah, he's not in it very long. There's Sienna Miller.
I know she's good there. She's actually a really good actress. She's really improved since the 2000s. I mean, she was good in American Sniper as well. So yeah, I remember once she was just kind of like Jude Law's Squeeze, this model who was just kind of there to look sexy in films like Layer Cake. But no, she's really coming to her own. And
no, she went and got herself some acting lessons.
Yeah, good.
She wanted to prove her chops. I would also argue that she's a better actor overall than her ex, Jude Law. I think she's done better roles and stronger performances than he has, and he's retired.
Really? I don't know. Jude Law was Dr. Watson in Sherlock Holmes. It was
those two actors are only good in those two roles, in my opinion. There's very few other good roles. Maybe Imitation Game. I wasn't compelled to follow Cumberbatch, the other guy.
Well, I just Jude Law's a good actor, but I think Sienna Miller's better than him. So and there she is. It's the whole plot revolves around a load of people that have kind of been sold a bad bill of goods. They've been sold plots of land that are in Apache land, and they were not told this. So a load of homesteaders go out to this location only to be attacked by the Apaches on the side of the river that the Americans consider to be theirs, or the homesteaders consider to be theirs. Thus sparks a big war. Jenna Malone is very good in this. Is one of her best performances, actually. So there's a lot of really great performances. Kevin Costner's not doing anything in this film that you haven't seen him do before, and I get that this is kind of his swan song project, but I really want to see the rest of it. Now, the second film is in the can. It's fully edited. It's polished. It's done. It has been shown. So we need to get it on. So we need more people talking about this in order to get it on. But I've said this before with The Odyssey, whether you love it or hate it, we're still lucky that there are films like The Odyssey being made. We're all talking about the summer releases, and it's usually we had this discussion last summer, if you remember. It was like I went up to the cinema and I told you there were 8 films on, and they were either all sequels, prequels, or remakes. There wasn't a single original movie. And when I went to see Horizon, which was around that time, it was the only, that might have been a couple of years ago, I think it was 22 it came out, maybe 23. It was the only movie that was on at the cinema at that time that was an original movie. And not only that, but Costner, again, whether you love him or hate him, Westerns are his ballpark. He's an auteur. He's going to give you a Western with real locations, with proper sets. He's going to use them. He's going to use native Indians for the Indians. He's going to use proper actors. He's going to get all of his buddies in to do cameos. You're going to get quality. Now, there's all kinds of stuff swirling around this production. I mean, you could probably make a mini series about this production and the fallout that's occurred, because apparently the costume company was never properly paid, and they're out $380,000.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
pay them, Kevin.
There's a lawsuit going on with that. There's a lawsuit against Costner from a female stunt woman who didn't agree to do a simulated grape scene. I don't think that scene is actually in the finished thing, because I imagine it would have been in the big sort of carnage scene that's in this episode. But
they get a seat in court to see that part of the movie.
Yeah, it's listen, but it is good. If somebody watched this and told me it was a piece of crap, I'd love to debate with them why that is. Because again, we're not going to see many more films like this in our lifetime. These kind of films need our support, and they're rare now. Yeah. Horizon, The Odyssey. How many big auteur films have we had in the last 3-4 years alone? You had Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think that was 2019. Quentin Tarantino. We've got his new one coming up, but there's not many like big auteur movies. You've got Chris Nolan, Michael Mann's last couple of films have been all right, but they've not been amazing. So try and support films like this, and I wouldn't recommend this if it wasn't good.
Would you say this is worth watching for anybody who doesn't like Westerns?
I still think it's. I mean, if you're not particularly a fan of Western, I think this is so good on every other level. There's enough. But if you hate Westerns with a passion, okay, it's not for you.
Yeah.
Can I make one quick comment?
Yeah, cool. So that's my pitch over, so everyone can chip in. I know a couple of people have seen it. Go ahead.
Okay, if I'm going first, I would say, in my family, everyone's adopted. My sister is an Apache, so I reserve the right to take the European point of view, no matter how wrong they are, because that's the way it's been growing up for me. But I do trust Kevin Costner to give me a quality movie. I just don't trust him to give me a well-paced movie, or to fall in love with looking at himself on camera to give us these atmospheric scenes, which, while the landscape is beautiful, he's just staring at himself through that camera. There are long, gratuitous shots in movies like his Wyatt Earp and other films where we could have cut 20% of the runtime for, like, not just the movie, but every hour of the movie. Wyatt Earp is 55 minutes too long. So
I mean, there's less Costner posturing in this one, but it is there for sure.
You just invented a term, Lance. Don't ever let that go. Costner posturing. That's what ended Yellowstone. He was too much Costner posturing, and that's why he's getting sued for the bunch of bunch of fruit scene. But I do trust him to give me a good movie. But Open Range is sort of the top level of what he can do. Is he good? Yes. Is it in his wheelhouse? Absolutely. Can he do more with it than most guys? Yes. And he might be close to the top now that Eastwood is officially done, but he'll never be Eastwood. He's not Eastwood, but he's in the Eastwood vein. His pacing is terrible.
Yeah, because he never really seems to let anything go in his movies when he should, though. Like trim something down a little bit, can he? I know, that's it. Yeah, I mean, like the scene where Costner is confronting Jamie Campbell Ball's character. They have this monologue, and it goes on for quite a while. I mean, you could have trimmed that down just a tiny bit. That is one example of the fact that Kevin Costner just seems to let his films bloat a little. And it's a shame because this is a really good film, and I really enjoyed it. I really cared what happened to the characters. But I could sort of say, maybe this could have been shortened, maybe condensed. Sometimes it's good to sort of like let things get to the point or, cut something out because sometimes the audience can get it. We can get it.
You want to have that moment of delay, it'll hit you harder if the movie is normal or tightly paced, because that's clearly his goal. He wants you to regard these moments, but he does it too much for too long. I don't know if he's trying to train you to have a longer attention span. It's not going to work. We live in a world of TikTok, Kevin.
Because sometimes you do have to get to the point because the audience gets it. You don't always have to whack them over the head with it, do you? I mean, look at
pedantic.
Yeah, look at James Cameron with the special edition version of Terminator 2 versus the theatrical. The theatrical version gets to the point. It cuts out John Connor going, maybe you don't understand, but most people are afraid to die. We're in pain. No.
This is why you have director's cuts of things in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, when you get that original scene, he says, haven't you figured out why you can't kill people? And he looks at him and it cuts straight to Miles Dyson's house with the kid playing with a toy because you get it. You get what the point is in that scene.
Okay, did you, Luke? You've seen this, haven't you?
I have, yeah, and I liked it. I really liked it.
Rating out of 10 quickly.
I give it a good, maybe 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I give it an 8. Yeah, room for improvement, but it's still bloody good. Anyone else want to give it a rating before we move on?
I have not seen it. I might wait till the second one comes out and maybe watch them both at the same time.
So if you go onto the Wikipedia page for Horizon and American Saga, you will see a load of stuff about part 2. You will also see it written that apparently Amazon Prime in Portugal is going to get part 2 first. Why? I've no idea. But apparently that's what it says. I mean, on Wikipedia. So
how's Sam Worthington in it? I noticed he was in it.
Yeah, Sam Worthington's in it, and he's actually he's always a bit bland, but he's less bland than normal.
Fair enough.
In this, he's actually pretty good in this. To be fair to him, So see, Chapter 2 had its world premiere in 2024. Chapter 3 is in production. Chapter 4 is in development. So somehow he's found the money to start shooting on the third one, despite.
This is good because he had 4 in total, didn't he? He wanted to do.
Yeah. But the first 2 were shot back to back, and in May 2024, casting calls for background actors for Chapter 3 had commenced, with production to begin later in St. George, Utah. Later, it was reported it was halted due to labor disputes. Costner began filming a montage sequence featuring scenes from Chapter 3. That's at the end of the first movie, I think. Oh no, maybe not. That's probably going at the end of the second movie. Started principal photography May 13, 2024. So there you go. So yeah, Chapter 3 is actually shooting despite delays and various other things.
It's cool. He's getting to finish it. I always like it when a creator gets to see their vision.
Yeah, I would like
to come to pass.
I would like to see what happens with this. All right. Well, from one mostly good director to another director who's mostly good in his earlier years, still looking for that last hit. They Live. Critic.
Oh
out.
Yes,
you
good
picked
choice.
This. Yep. I've got the vinyl for this. I think you guys have all seen it before. I've got a picture of me taken with Roddy Piper when this came out. When he came to visit our store, I still have that photo. If people want to see it, I'll try and dig it out while Critic Hour's talking. If you haven't,
great actor from Hell Comes to Frogtown's first film.
Yeah.
So
Critic Hour, you've got 5 minutes. Go for it, buddy.
I love this film. I've got a board game of this film. It's just great. I mean, it's one of those things that, you know, how you get those films and they're actually a documentary, like Idiocracy, and you're like, this isn't a movie. This is a documentary. This is actually happening. They Live was prescient in how it dealt with control and influence, and how, you know, people being put to sleep and having, you know, watch TV, don't pay attention to things and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's a groundbreaking film of the time. It's also got one of the best punch-ups ever, between,
and one of the best end lines. Hey, baby, what's wrong?
That's the first final shot of the film. That is. And yeah, it's brilliant. It really is. I think it's one of those films that Hollywood would love to try and remake because of how Hollywood is these days.
Oh yeah, they'll make it. They will make it. It's about capitalism, about
exactly. Yeah, but they wouldn't dare.
Like, I know, and we never got that with this. It's kind of, it's just kind of anti-conformism.
Yeah.
The sign would never say "get married and reproduce" if they made it now. These might be better robots.
But you know, the directing's great. It's refreshingly sort of, because it is an action film and everything, but it's refreshingly sort of low stakes, low intensity action. Like there's a gunfight towards the end, but other than that, it's mainly character work with you know, the way that people react to control being put upon them. You know, because they say you've got the people who sell out and stuff like that, and you've got that guy's like, yeah, no, I'm getting rich off this. I don't care. And then you've got the aliens themselves, obviously completely iconic. I love the whole sunglasses idea. It's just brilliant. It's just a great film. 1988. If you haven't seen it, you've got to watch it. I put it up there with Carpenter's finest. I really do.
It's so relevant now, though, isn't it? Just like
that's what I'm saying. It's like
just like all the psyops that's been played on our broadcasting programs. What we're seeing on the internet.
It's like it predicted the future,
so
dude. It really did. I mean, you know, because media's only ever got more, and now we've got social media as well, which obviously this couldn't really predict. It is even more influencing and controlling on people. But yeah,
I don't know, but it was Keith David's voice narrating that weird informational video about Spider-Man in the movie. So maybe like there's a little They Live going on there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's weird, isn't it? Because we don't really get a lot about the aliens. You know, we know, we get a little bit about why they're here, what they're doing, what their agenda is, but that's about it. Because
are they aliens?
They are, yeah.
Okay,
because it shows them teleporting off to Andromeda.
They teleport. They teleport off.
Okay, I forgot about that. It's been a while since I've seen this one. I love this movie though.
Oh, you should give it another.
That
watch,
is such a great part when you find out they can teleport for the first time.
Yes,
you're like, oh shit, they can do that.
Speaking to their watch and they're gone. Yeah, I mean, it's just a great film. Sci-fi action. Yeah, there's no spaceships. You know, there's no sort of like laser fights or anything like that, but it is as sci-fi as they come with its concepts.
Oh, there's an early drone in it.
There is an early drone in it.
Yeah, that's one of the first appearances of a drone in a movie ever.
And I think the pacing of the film is also like perfect. It's so well done. I think it's a great film.
Yeah,
it gets better every time I watch it.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's basically just two humble working class guys who are very insignificant are the ones that are saving the world. You know, they're the ones that sacrifice themselves to save humanity, to free humanity from
the lowest of the low, as it were. You know, they're laborers, they're builders, kind of thing.
I actually went and stood where this was filmed in this spot. I sat on that wall because I was in. This was shot in 87 and released in 88, and I was in LA in 88, and I went downtown to find the Die Hard building.
I was going to say, is this one in your book, Lance?
I can't remember if this is in Silver Screen Journeys or not.
No.
Next one,
1988.
Silver Screen Pilgrimages, where he goes to the locations.
But I was living. If you look where the first tree is, and you've got this building here, that building I had my first meeting in with an agent, and I remember that I was walking distance from this building. I mean, it was like a 20-minute walk, but you know, being a Brit and not having a car, I just thought, yeah, I can walk it. It's fine.
Nobody walks in LA, Lance.
Yeah, I mean, back then it was safer than it was when I returned. I had 2 people try to mug me during the day when I was back there in 2004.
Only 2?
2005, yeah. So
slow day.
It was a slow day. Yeah, that's right.
Could I have a quick comment on this one? I love this movie. The plot was great. I forgot there were aliens. It's been a while on this one. It is a classic, so I definitely do need to see it again. But there is one thing that did stretch credulity. Who turns down free sunglasses? I mean, come on.
Yeah, that fight went on for too long.
Oh no, I love it because it goes on that long.
I
mean,
it
shows how desperate he is.
No,
I didn't mind at all. It was gratuitous. You know what? That became an American cable.
It's also one of the best.
TV.
It's one of the best fistfights ever.
No, it is because Piper choreographed it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Piper choreographed it with the guy.
Oh, did he? That explains a lot. I guess.
Yeah, he does. It's in no way grounded in reality. They do fatal damage to each other like 5 times over, but it's so fun. It is so fun and so long.
So they go to a magic hotel that heals them up overnight. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean it does
Grand Theft
stretch
Auto.
incredulity that he won't put the glasses on for like so long. I'm not quite sure.
I've never seen anyone turn down a free fashion accessory. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's a great movie. There are a couple of pretty big action sequences in it before the end when they come to clear out this place and then basically come to massacre everybody that's in it as well.
Yeah.
And the police you can tell the police have been informed these are terrorists. So you know, it's a no, we're not going to take any prisoners policy. Yeah, it's a really good movie. That sequence is very funny.
I know it's political, but it remembers to be fun as well, and it remembers to be relatable. You get Roddy Piper's idealistic character, you know, if I obey the rules, you know, life will work out for me. While Keith David's character is basically, listen, just keep your head down and you know, look after yourself, because at the end of the day, you know, everyone's out for themselves.
That's it. He doesn't want to get
like
involved.
that. Yeah, I know. And
did anyone
and there's one little thing I want to mention as well, which really made me admire Keith David, because he was one of the only few people that helped Roddy Piper with his lines and in rehearsals. Everyone else was kind of looking at Roddy Piper like another dumb jock wrestler trying to act, but Keith David, he actually helped him out. Yeah, he's they became friends and on set.
I love Keith David. He's great. I love he got
brilliant.
The star recently.
When I met Roddy, I said to him, I brought up my They Live album and I got him to sign it. So he signed my They Live vinyl.
Oh, nice.
And I said, so John Carpenter, what was he like? What was he like to work with? And he's like, well, man, he's kind of far out. And I was like, is that all I'm gonna get? And it was like, I said, yeah, and yeah, he's kind of far out. He's out there, man. He's out there. And you know, and then every kid that he was hung over, as you could tell when he came to do the signing at the store that we were at. He was hung over as fuck. He didn't touch any of the food that we got him. And he went and dropped a massive Duke in the loo. Which that was a big conversation in the store. Like,
so he was basically like his character in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, for real. Then it's like
he was great, but he was great with the kids. As soon as the kids came up, you know, they were all, because he had a single out and he had a second movie coming out, which I think is like one of only 4 movies he did, and he had this song "Come On Back" or something like that. It was kind of a sort of slightly folky, you know, but it was a bit naff. But all the kids were coming up to buy like the CD singles of it, and he shook the hand of every single kid that queued up to see him, and he said the same thing. He said, "Work hard, go to school, man." and a couple of them asked him a couple of questions and that. But yeah, he was pretty good with the fans. So, you know, he earned that dump at the end of the day.
That's so funny.
Well, it was because he disappeared and like no one could find him for ages. And it was like, Lance, you were hanging out with Roddy. Where is he? Like, the manager's kind of, and then by the way, the manager of our store was a total wanker. And but I was like, I don't know. And I was like, I went into the gents lose, came straight out again, went, I know where he is.
When your doctor wonders why you don't have cataract.
He came out like, okay, let's do this thing.
When your doctor wonders why you don't have cataracts, you just be like, Keith David sort of burned the surface of my eyes slightly one time years back.
There was definitely an element of poo fog in the room. But yeah, he was a nice guy. He was surprised when he saw that I had the vinyl of the movie. He was really surprised. And there was a woman there, there was a PA there who was charging like kids, you know, I think £10 or £5 to do like, you know, this is before selfies, right? So they had a PA who had one of those Instamatic cameras and you could pay whatever. And he turned to the PA and he said, hey, come on, let's do a picture for my friend here. And he just grabbed me and we took a picture and I didn't have to pay for it. I was the only one who didn't have to pay. And that's the photo that I've got of me and him with my very, very 80s, well, I think it was 90s glasses on.
Cool.
Yeah. So, you know, it was he died too young, I think. And I think considering it was his first acting gig, he did a really good job on this.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, no, he did.
Plays the everyman, doesn't he? He's very very approachable, very.
Yeah, and I mean, he as you said, you know, Keith David took him under his wing and probably told him the most important lesson, which is don't try acting too hard, just say the lines. Yeah, it was good. I would give this movie a solid. When I saw it, I thought it was good, but not great. But one of the things about this film is that because this was coming off the back of Big Trouble, right? So you had Big Trouble, then you had Prince of Darkness, then you had this. And Prince of Darkness was a really good, small horror film, but I wanted something bigger from Carpenter. And then you had this, and I wanted something that was going to hit the same excitement level as Big Trouble. So at the time, it kind of didn't do it for me. The thing with this film is it's aged so well because the issues in it are so much more relevant now because we know so much more about how the world works. Mm-hmm. You know, so yeah. I mean, Darkness is probably one of his best low-budget horrors, I would argue, apart from Halloween, of course.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Alice Cooper is some weirdo fucking zombie thing, and it's awesome. It's awesome.
He was definitely a better actor than Hulk Hogan. I mean, Hulk Hogan
definitely
could basically just play Hulk Hogan. I mean, here he plays a character, and I think he was quite keen not to sort of turn up and play Roddy Piper. He just wanted to play a guy, you know, a regular
guy. He's
got
no name in this one. His name's Nada or whatever, like in Spanish for nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love They Live.
They
Live so great. And yeah, it kind of just ends. But it's one of those dumb movies I've always wanted a fucking legacy sequel to, you know, but like what direction do you take that? You know?
Yeah.
Like there's so much you could do with what they've given you with the first movie. You can make the sequel take place like right after this movie or 30 years later.
I think it would be quite interesting to do a parallel movie that ends at the same place but shoot a back-to-back sequel at the same time. So you get a lead in, but from a different perspective. It might be set in Russia or somewhere like this, different characters. After the same thing, loads of them get killed. Suddenly these guys manage to pull off a victory and, you know, the world is revealed. And then you have a movie that's about the repercussions of that. And, you know, all the aliens have been like hunted down and shit. And then you've got like lefties who are like hiding them in basements because they want to protect them and stuff. You know, that would be pretty, that's like Save the Alien movement. They're not so bad.
Oh yeah, it sounds very revisionist. It's kind of like it's like making a communist movie and saying, "Well, the Soviets were all bad," you know.
They made a few mistakes.
I think it could be really
it wasn't real socialism, you know.
Sir, didn't Carpenter say at some point he was expressing that he extended the concept of the Thing to total alien world domination to this?
The Thing had a proper 2-part sequel written. I've got the script for it, and
I think this was his best, like the best he could have. He was able to do with it as far as selling a movie.
Well, in terms of the Thing, if you're talking about sequels for the Thing, it was ready to go, and then
There's a comic book and a video game sequel.
I've got all the comic book stuff, but there was going to be a proper 2-part TV miniseries, which was about sort of 90 minutes each part plus commercials, so 2 hours each part.
How do you rate it? Is it any good?
The script is really good. I've given it to Drinker. He's read it as well. It's a really good script.
That prequel with the chick from Ahsoka wasn't so fantastic.
That was terrible. That was not a good movie.
Because you didn't need it, because when you watch the Thing and they see all the dead, the corpses in the fucking Swede camp, the Finnish camp, you get it straight away. You get it straight away.
Powers that it didn't have before. It didn't have the ability to extend massive tentacles over big distances outside because it's fucking cold outside. It didn't particularly like the cold. It was weak.
Right. It had a few.
It's a creature that fought for survival. You know, it was willing to survive no matter what, even if it had to bleed, have the body get burned up and survive as just a little drop of blood. You know, that's how it works.
Each part of it is like just got its own strength of will to survive. By the way, I made a mistake. There's a Mandela effect. It wasn't leftover stuff from Keith David, but as I look at the Spider-Man No Way Home, I just brand new day. IMDb, not to double back. Here's a weird one. J.K. Simmons has a credit in this movie.
Ooh, yes, he does. But as you said, we're not doubling back. So
that's just remarkable, non-breaking, non-news.
That is interesting.
He's got a cameo.
And I got to correct the record about the thing I said that was incorrect.
Well, after this, so after They Live, I watched another film.
Shall we go on?
John Carpenter made.
Yeah,
where he went a little bit mad.
Critic out did a double bill. Goes to Mars and which one did you watch first?
This is a good movie.
Which one, Critic Out? Which one did you watch first?
What originally, or
so you weren't watching these for the first time this time?
Oh God, no! I've seen They Live more times than I can count. Okay. I just put it on because it's an ace film. Ghost of Mars, I've not seen since probably when it came out.
Yeah, I've got the DVD of it, and it came out just as the DVD market was becoming a thing. And it didn't get a cinema release in the UK. When I was like, oh well, I'm going to have that because it's Carpenter. Even his average films are usually worth watching.
I mean, it's
the premise is really good. The first 20 minutes, I really like. I really like.
There's something thing-like about it, isn't there? This entity that can be anyone, that can possess anyone. You're like, oh wow, I kind of, it's Carpenter, and his love for heavy metal comes out in this film, massively. It's if taken as one of those cheesy late 90s, early 2000s nonsense action films, you can get something out of it. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I mean, I'm pretty sure Carpenter was very, very much on drugs and stuff when he wrote it. The dialogue is absolutely awful.
You know what? I think it also isn't this in the theater at the same time as a similar but better movie called Event Horizon that it gets unfavorably compared to? It's like we got the same kind of movie. See Event Horizon.
I thought Event Horizon was like late 90s, but
no, Event Horizon was 4 years before this.
Was it? Yeah, I did see this movie when it came out.
Event Horizon was 97. 4 years.
Ghost of Mars was 98. Event Horizon was 96.
No, Ghost of Mars 2001.
Ghost of Mars was 2001.
Ghost of Mars was 2001. It was not 1998. I don't know where you're getting that information from, but it's
a
wrong.
Pretty good movie. I agree with the assertion about the dialogue.
I swear, Ghost of Mars is August 24th, 2001.
When Piper was like, Carpenter's far out there, man. Yeah, he means he was stoned off his face. because this film is mad.
Well, this started off originally as a Snake Plissken sequel.
Oh, really? Wow.
This rumor has been dispelled, however, by Sandy King, who was producing the movie at the time, but it's not been dispelled by Carpenter himself. In fact, there were a number of Snake Plissken possible sequels mooted, one every 5 years.
Yeah, okay.
So Courtney Love was originally cast, but she left the project. So Natasha Henstridge.
Oh, thank God for that.
Thank God. What an upgrade.
Replaced her. Yeah. And Jason Statham was originally going to play Ice Cube's role.
Okay.
Sorry, but he was replaced because they needed some more star power, and at the time he wasn't that big.
No, it was quite early on in his career.
It's a color movie. They want to show that off.
Much of the film was shot in a mine in New Mexico. It had to be dyed with thousands of gallons of food coloring to recreate the Martian landscape.
Good God.
Yeah. So
it's a desert somewhere. It's probably still red.
Yeah.
Retrospective reviews from the cast. Ice Cube has been openly critical of the movie. I don't like that movie. I'm a big fan of John Carpenter, and that's the only reason I did it, was because Carpenter directed, but they didn't really have any money to pull the special effects off. He reiterated his dislike in 2014, calling it the worst film of his career. Oh, Ice Cube, there's a few contenders there, mate.
I was going to say, I'm not too sure about that.
Like, this might be the worst performance of his career, though. He's struggling in the role. You can see he's trying to believe that he's that character. It's very early in his career. He's, coming right off a tour, and he's trying to do this. He gave a good effort, I thought, but he was still too new, and he looked like he had a disbelief of what he was doing. Like, he wasn't fully invested in the character. He was struggling. So,
Admiral Teag, what you're thinking of is this came out in the time period when you also had Mission to Mars and Red Planet, and both of those films also bombed. So, and they had bigger budgets than this, and it just sort of, I guess the studios gambled on people would want to see films set on Mars. Apparently,
we had exploration programs
there yet.
The probes were there was a probe that was supposed to get there that blew up on the pad, or we lost control of. So there were time for an event that didn't happen, I believe, is the deal with the Mars movies. The Val Kilmer one is worth rewatching. The other ones you can forget about. The Val Kilmer one was
Red Planet's the Val Kilmer one, isn't it?
Yes.
I prefer Mission to Mars to the
Mission Mars is good. Mission to Mars sucks though because they spoiled Mission to Mars. You spoiled the big twist on all the promotional material. That's why Mission to Mars is not.
Yeah, with the head.
Yeah, just like it's the origin of Earth. Life on Earth comes from Mars. Yeah. It's like, well, if you didn't know that going in, that movie would have fucking blown people's minds.
I feel like it was only on the level of scientific mind blowing of your average episode of Star Trek, and there's 800 of those, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, but I like Mission to Mars because
it's stupid.
What's your rating on this, mate? We've got to move on. So rating out of 10.
I mean, they live as a 9 out of 10 all day long, in my opinion. This is maybe a 5. It's not a good film, but you can get some guilty fun out of watching it, and it's got a heavy metal soundtrack that Carpenter did, and I mean, I didn't hate it, but you can never say it's a good film. You could just say it's a bright turn your brain off.
Carpenter's synth soundtracks over his metal soundtracks.
Yeah, agreed.
There's a bit of symphonist as well, but there's a band I love that does both called Dance with the Dead, and they do heavy metal guitar over John Carpenter style synths. But yeah, I mean,
I agree with you. I'd give it a 5. It had some good elements, but on the whole, it was pretty average and had some stuff that was really poor. So. Anyone else want to chuck a rating before we move on?
I'll give it a 6 just because that chick was so good looking, but it's a 5. Yeah.
Okay.
There is some good ideas in this, though. I mean, I do like the whole self-mutilation with the possessed crew, and there are some very good little
Doom.
bits of there's kind of some nice bits of body horror and everything. And the sets look fantastic. Everything.
The spat between Leroy and Wormy continues. I give Ghost of Mars 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Good lord.
You're crazy, man. It's 6 at best. So there you go. That's my wormy spoon.
It's got good ideas. It's just poorly executed, and John Carpenter really wasn't at his best. He was really starting to go down by this point, though, sadly. And
I maintain that he was well into the drugs, and it's his heavy metal movie, and I'm like, yeah, fair enough. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think it needs a remake. Just get a better writer in to try and sort it, to really try and improve on it, and maybe not cast Ice Cube, maybe get a better actor to play the role. It's
right now. This next movie is about an important topic, because with the way my love life is going, I may have to get an AI at this point.
Oh yeah, I'll be quick on this one. It was okay. This is the chick from Evil Dead Rise. She's the rocker sister girl.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's got blonde hair. She does get naked a few times in this movie, which is pretty cool. She's got a nice set on her. But yeah, it's basically Megan. It's the same universe. It's the same production company. She's a sex doll instead of a child doll, and she gets very possessive over the guy that she's doing the trial period for, because he works for the company, and he's doing like a, in-house kind of trial period to see what it's like. And of course he starts like trying to update it and do his own tweaks on it.
Sounds like that Megan Fox film.
Yeah, it's kind of like Subservience.
Was that
kind of like Subservience? Yeah, it's kind of like that. This is better than that one. And yeah, it's just a generic like kind of slasher flick kind of killer robot. Doesn't overstay its welcome. It's really short. It's got some good kills. It's got some titties. But overall, it's just kind of a mid movie. I'd recommend it if you're really into the sci-fi horror stuff. If you want to see her, sever a man's erect penis with her robotic vagina. There's stuff like that in this movie.
That's like probably one of the most biggest spoilers ever. We don't want to know that in advance. Now I'm crossing my legs. I'm not sure if I can watch it.
Soulmate. I hate the title because it's Soulmate TE. Soulmate. How do you say this? The 8 makes the T and the E.
The T and E shouldn't be there.
Right. Yeah. It's stupid.
Yeah, you could have just had the 8 without the T and the E.
I know, but people are dumb. But yeah, the movie is all right. Like I said, this was okay. This was decent. Spider-Man was good. Stop That Train was great. All right. So I would recommend this to a smaller batch of people. Just, you could watch this at double speed, shoving popcorn in your mouth and, have a good time.
I think this was shot entirely in Ireland. Am I right in thinking that?
I don't know. It's supposed to be America, so I don't know.
I don't think you have churches that are quite as cool as this church here.
They're all getting burned down. But yeah, I mean, I would, like this was a all right flick. It was it served its purpose. I don't know what, I hope they don't I hope they're not doing some kind of cinematic universe with all these killer robots. But yeah, if you thought, hey, Megan was nice, I just wanted more breasts in it, this could be your bag.
That needs to go on the back of the DVD.
Yeah, and
this is Megan with more breasts.
Yeah, I think there's like 3 topless scenes in this movie from that lady, and they're all... Oh, there's a couple great sex scenes too, where she just wants to fuck.
Well, that's 1 point for each of those, plus the 2 sex scenes. That's 5 out of 10 so far. And are you going any higher?
Yeah, I'd give it a 6 or so, a 5 or a 6. Yeah.
What's the 6 point for?
Like I said, some good kills. Okay. I'm trying to remember who else gets brutally murdered in what fashion.
Darth finds this triggering because, like me, he knows this potentially could be the future of our love life.
It's like I said the other day, you don't have to have a great movie. You can just put like tits and a load of blood and gore in it, and it's watchable at the very least. So
if you don't buy one for the first few years and they do the obvious murdering, you might be able to get like a Cherry 2000 style one, like from that movie. And you know what? That's better than some of the options I have now at this age. I'm not ready to condemn this idea out of hand, Lance.
Well, I mean, I didn't say, like I was saying, it might be the only option available to me at this rate. So, yeah. Anyway, Soulmate. Okay, 6 out of 10 from Enzo.
Now Enzo's pointed out that title is really bothering me.
Yeah, it's a soft
See
recommend.
a robot decapitate a wiener, then
if any of the stuff I said piques your interest, then check it out. If you don't like dumb, sci-fi slasher films, I don't think you'll hate it. I don't think I would be pressed to find someone that hates this movie, but it is what it is kind of film. It's all right.
Admiral Teag, have you got a pick for this week?
This week I don't really have anything current. I just did my usual Star Trek advancing one forward to the next episode of TOS. We covered Where No Man Has Gone Before. Everyone liked this one much better than Charlie X as we continue our trip through that. And I do have a video dropping on Spider-Man. I made a video essay about the movie and my reactions to it and my experience seeing it. So if anyone wants a little more Spider-Man, if you don't have enough, I mean, there's not enough Spider-Man out there. So I'm going after the underserved Spider-Man market. If you watch my
mate,
video,
feel free to drop the link for that in the chat. You've got.
I really appreciate it.
I take it your take isn't quite as vitriolic as Mauler's.
No, you know what? I was in context. I don't think first of all, I'm not going to presume to judge Mauler's take. He probably can bring all the receipts as he always does. I reviewed it as me. I'm not Mauler, but I do admire his objective film reviewing. I didn't apply it to this one, and I couldn't because I don't have enough of the movie to cut a longer video, and I don't have enough I need to see it again to do a plot analysis. Mm-hmm. So my video essay is still pretty good, pulls from all Spider-Man movies and all Spider-Man trailers, and is it worth seeing in theaters? Is it worth seeing in IMAX? Does Zendaya ruin this movie? Is Tom Holland finally the best Spider-Man? Is John Bernthal worth seeing? Does Mark Ruffalo ruin the movie? What do I think of the villain? And I keep it to 5 minutes. It's it answers all your questions about if you're on the fence, but I don't get into specifics. Only stuff in there is stuff you already knew. And I mean, the Punisher thing is a reveal, but it dropped the week of the movie. So if you're still on the fence, or if this movie needed any help, because I know it's struggling a little bit, I wanted to do my part to have my friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. We all have Spider-Man, but as a resident of Queens, New York, my Spider-Man happens to be the real Spider-Man. And I just wanted to announce Miles Morales right now.
Just going back to your Star Trek episode of the week, you're on episode 3. I have a question for the panel. It's such a shame Critic Al's not here because I feel his input on this question is vital.
I would love to hear from him about Star Trek.
We've lost him. So, was there anyone else asking for a friend? Was there anyone else on the panel when they saw this episode, when they were sort of in the age range of, let's say, 9 to 11, when this woman had these kind of sparkly eyes and stuff? Anyone else have very
Sally Kellerman?
I know it's Sally Kellerman. Did anyone else have very confusing feelings when they were watching this episode and Sally Kellerman was on with her glowing eyes?
I was scared to death of her, and she was still beautiful. There was something about it. I think it may have destroyed my dating future. I was like, she's beautiful and dangerous and crazy.
Yeah, I know. I think this was a thing. If you liked Sally Kellerman in this episode, unfortunately, it was a prediction for your life that you were going to get attracted to dangerous, crazy, beautiful women.
Dr. Elizabeth Denner is pretty beautiful, and I threw another picture of her if you want to represent that one, of her looking extremely alluring, and a prop they never used again. They assessed it. Yeah, look at that. She negotiated to get the contacts in her eyes for the least amount of times. It was 2 sets of contacts with pieces of metal and sparkles in between, like glitter in between. Damn. The guy who made them tested them out and called them painful. And we have 2 great actors in this movie. We have Gary Lockwood from 2001, Frank Poole, so this is his first turn as a doomed astronaut, and of course beautiful hot lips here, looking really alluring. We ditch the feet. This is a throwback in the production series. They go back to an earlier episode that they had made. So we don't see these uniforms in any other episode of real Star Trek. They're the cage uniforms. The women are wearing unflattering trousers. It can't hide the fact she's gorgeous. There's still a lot of cool stuff. It's a little slower paced, but it's a rejected pilot that they buried week 3. It's Star Trek enough. And that's a one prop ever that I know used by Star Trek that they didn't design. That was made by a toy maker hoping to sell toys. Roddenberry decided he hated it. And if you look at it, the stuff we went with, we were better off. He had 10 months.
Yeah. I mean, and also you're going to look a right dork running around with that toy gun. I always remember
just real quick. He had the 10 months that he spent developing this. I wish we would do things like that now. The network rejected this once and gave him 10 months and money. When he bought the second pilot, they said, all this needs is editing. We'll show it. Make some more episodes. Here's the money. And he had 10 months to think about this stuff with all their feedback from both meetings. And instead of being like a modern writer and freaking out and going on social media or to the papers to complain, he worked with the network. And look what we got. 60 years later, it's still worth talking about. And look at this picture. Sorry, Lance.
Yeah, one of the things I always loved about the original series was these matte paintings. This one in particular, there's a couple of them that really stick in my head. We
used this one 3 times.
Yeah, I was going to say this one was also used in the, wasn't it also
Devil
used
in the Dark.
The Devil in the Dark?
Court Martial.
All right, okay.
I believe it's in Court Martial too. It's integrated into a larger matte painting though, because there's a small city on the asteroid they're on.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I remember this episode. I really liked it. Critical, you missed a crucial intelligence question.
Critical, I'm so glad you're back. We're talking about Star Trek, the original series, episode 3, Where No Man Has Gone Before.
We got audio with Critical, or is he having audio issues?
His comms will be up in a moment. He may have come in contact with the energy barrier, and right now we're just an inconvenience to him. He might swat us away with a wave of his hand, like Gary Mitchell.
Bridge to Lieutenant Al. Come in.
Security, send the team up here.
Okay. All right. Well,
is his avatar's eyes glowing?
Okay, Critical, when you get your audio, let us know. You can probably hear us. We can't hear you.
Whether or not we get them now or on X, I'm going to DM him on this because he's one person I'd love to know what he thought about this. It's so deeply science fiction, this one. It was a little too slow, and they cut 8 minutes out of it for the networks.
There we go. Sorry about that.
Al.
Al. Okay.
I'm delighted.
Al, did you hear the previous conversation, which we wanted your opinion on?
My computer crashed.
Okay, so just listen for a second. Okay. When you saw this for the first time, was this a hot or not?
I was young. I was very, very young.
Do you have any like confused, fizzy feelings, like when you bite into a really big cola bottle for the first time?
Not like I did with Jadzia Dax. I mean, she's hot.
Yeah, that's like 20 cola bottles.
I'd seen this woman naked first, so.
Oh right, okay. Well, that's a different thing entirely, isn't it?
She's in MASH naked
today. Anyway,
she got naked in MASH. That's a different version of MASH that I saw.
This is the
MASH wandered in, and he's like, "What are you guys talking about? What?"
This woman is she's in a movie with Terry Farrell from Deep Space Nine, though. She's in Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. This is Sally Kellerman. She's the original Hot Lips in movie MASH, which was R-rated, and they pull a prank on her, and we see her boobies.
Yeah, we lost her in 22, which is a real shame, but I do know a couple of people.
Yeah, she was a great actress.
I know a couple of people that worked with Kellerman, and they all said the same thing. Absolutely lovely to work with, knew the names of all the crew, really pleasant individual, very, very sorely missed.
I remember she said those contact lenses really sucked. Really sucked.
What's that? Al, what was that?
They used contact lenses for the silver eyes, and I remember her.
Yeah, and they were very painful.
Really
we already discussed that. We covered that. You missed that, man.
My computer hates me. What can I say?
You could have done a valuable contribution, but the spiders rebelled and you were being attacked. So, all right, I think we cover everything. Oh no, we've missed a couple of things. So I do apologize.
You want to talk about Cape Fear?
Wait, could I ask Al what he thought of the sci-fi level of the story and Where No Man Has Gone Before, if he remembers it? It's pretty deep for TV.
Oh God, yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's brilliant. Go out to the energy barrier.
Northern wasn't Boy and His Dog. That was one of yours, wasn't it?
Yeah, with Don Johnson and Jason Robards.
We'll talk about that. Are you talking about the 1975 movie?
Yes, the apocalyptic movie.
This is well old.
I know, and it's still so good as well. And this is the I mean, the original story is what inspired the Fallout games as well. I did not know this until like a few years earlier, and it's got a very, very young Don Johnson as well. Who's kind of this kid who's surviving this apocalyptic wasteland with this dog who he can speak to, telepathically, and and the dog kind of they kind of have this partnership going on. The kid finds the food for the dog, while the dog finds someone for the kid to have sex with, whether she consents or not. And you can really see this future as all moral and common sense and decency has just gone out the window, and now everybody's out for themselves. And they do. I can't remember the guy who voiced the dog though, but he really does add a little bit of gravitas to him as well. He's very old, but he seems to know. He seems to sort of like educate the kid on the history of the world, everything as well.
Is that not Jason Robards that does the voice of the dog?
No, he's one of the weirdos in the vault that milks Don Johnson for his seed. It's that kind of movie as well.
I love the way they say on the poster. No one admitted after the performance start it has to be seen from the beginning.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Don Johnson's character is not really an all-round good guy because he's practically a rapist in a way. But this is a world where women are sort of like commodities now. Anyway, there's no one has a moral compass or anything because human decency has just gone out the window in this wasteland, but it is still really well done. It's very nihilistic, but it's also very darkly funny, and
it's really is. Earlier, this could be set in the Mad Max universe, couldn't it?
Oh yeah, it inspired that as well. I think it did as well. It's really good. I mean, and Don Johnson really does it well. Once again, his character is a bit of a dick, but you sort of understand why. I mean, everyone's kind of terrible. It's kind of the varying degrees of terrible. And even the woman he takes hostage is kind of terrible because she's using him to lead him into this vault so he can get milks. And when she doesn't get her own get a little promotion that she's asked for, she kind of she pretends to be his friend, and she pays for it deeply at the end with a very dark line that ends with the dog saying something along the lines of she had very bad taste. And you could probably guess what happens there, but it's
what the hell?
I'm guessing that,
what are you watching? You heard about
it's gone. Watch it, man. It's on YouTube for free. Watch this movie. It is darkly funny.
It's great. I think I need to click out of scrolling through stills as per.
This is another movie that could be totally remade, and not necessarily, but like. This movie is fun. It's wild.
I mean, and once again, you can see the influences in Fallout as well because you're coming across these cults where everybody dresses a little weird. Why are these people wearing clown makeup? It's like, well, it's a weird sort of wasteland, apocalyptic future where everything's just kind of gone nuts.
What's going on here?
I've heard of this film.
Yeah, they're kind of like bathing him and then nearly drowning him. It's
So can I just check? Is a certain individual who's connected to this channel responsible for this movie of the 1970s coming before your nose and you knowing about it?
No, it came by accident. Anyway, I can't remember what it was. It was an old YouTube video that was, I think it was like underrated apocalyptic, movies, and this popped up. And
this location has been used in loads of movies.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was going to be a lovely, wholesome film about a boy and his canine.
I know, nice.
No, that's where I thought we were going. It was going to be like, like The Road, but sort of a bit more jolly. But no,
it's more of a dark comedy, really. It is more of a dark comedy, and it does establish this, this world gone mad very well. Like everything's kind of been buried underneath the sand now. All the cities have, and there's only a few ways you can keep yourself entertained: hunt for food, have sex with women, whether they want to with you or not, and see and go to these little huts where you pay to watch pornos. It's it's a very harsh world, but once again, there is that dark sense of humor in there as well.
This is like the low rent humongous in a boy and his dog. There's two of them in this.
If you're gonna dream big. I mean, this is not an unworthy goal in life. I once wanted to be the humongous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, once again, and the back and forth between Don Johnson and the dog is really funny as well. Like, as I said, are you gonna give me a woman for me to grape? And it's like, well, I'm hungry. Hey, don't you pull that crap on me? You waited not too long ago, and I ain't being late much longer than that. Okay? Yeah, they're terrible people, but once again, it's that very nihilistic sense of humor that you can't help but love. You know, it's
going to move on quickly because we're already over, and I want to cover one more topic. What rating out of 10 on this one?
Oh, I give it a 10 out of 10. It's so batshit.
Oh my God.
I can't give it anything lower.
I can't believe you've never seen this, Lance. I can't believe you've never seen this.
YouTube is great.
I have seen it. I have seen it, but I know we rented it, but it's, you know, you got to remember, dude, I got brain damage and major memory issues, so I really can't remember anything about it.
It's fun. It'd be cool to do a remake of this and make it like super serious and scary and less.
No.
Comedic.
No.
It's a little bit like Ice Pirates, Lance, if you remember that one.
Yeah, it is like Ice Pirates. Tonally.
Yeah, they would remake it, but would lack any of the nuance of this one, though. It would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a very good big budget fucking remake. Come on. There's kind of a low budget, sort of like a scrappy charm to it, for lack of a better term. A very scrappy charm.
Terry Gilliam would make, you know?
The ones that I remember, and I do remember Cherry 2000. That's a great movie.
That's a great movie.
Yeah. You mentioned that, Teag. You mentioned that.
My video collection permanently. Then, of course, if they were in the video collection and I liked them, they then went into the DVD. And if they were super great, they've made it to Blu-ray. But a lot of wheat and chaff, like, you know, I do not have the Blu-ray from Killer Clowns from Outer Space because I don't feel the necessity to watch that film again, even though it was fun.
Is Cherry 2000 a Corman movie? It's got all the elements.
I don't think it was Corman that produced that.
The script came from one of his people for sure. It is so cornball. And just really quick on that one, female road warrior, she's gorgeous. It's beyond ridiculous. The stunts are more high stakes and weird. They do some weird and kooky stuff. The movie's got a bunch of familiar B-movie actors, but a lot of it's built around how beautiful 1984 Melanie Griffith is. Well, so they have dueling sci-fi movies around this time.
Admiral Teag, why don't you pick it for next week as your favorite oldie, and we can give it a bit more time. Also, to let people know, Tim Thomerson was in that film, and I specifically picked that as a topic for me and him to talk about. So we do talk about Cherry 2000. I've also been back in touch with him recently, and he's up for coming on again. I'm also talking about working with him on a movie as well. So there's lots happening there. I'm trying to write a script where he can basically play a guy on a monitor who's on like a video call. So that's all we need to do. But,
if I say this, does everyone have to watch it or only you and me?
No, I mean,
I don't mind.
I mean, if you haven't seen Cherry 2000, watch it. It's a good older. It's one of the better kind of. You know, there was a lot of 80s and early 90s Mad Max. Let's do a Mad Max film, see if we can make some money. Lots of them were really bad. Some of them were very average but had good things.
This one's bad in a good way. This one is bad.
There were 4 or 5 that were really good. There's a book that covers all of these films that's just come out. This new edition of it.
This movie is a lot of fun. They realized they couldn't pull it off. They do have some spectacle. It is slightly inventive, surprisingly so here and there, but it's never going to be Road Warrior, and so they don't try, and it's a little more ridiculous. But if my friends on the show wanted to watch it, I'd say you would not be angry at me at all. I have confidence saying watch Cherry 2000. All right.
Well, if you want to talk about it more, we can do it next week. But I'm gonna have to cut that short because we need to move on, and we're already over. I do want to talk about Cape Fear, which I forgot to put in the scrolling credits. My bad. So we saved it for the end. Which one? Now the TV series. I don't want to talk about the film, so unless there's a specific reason you want to reference the film, let's not go down that road because we haven't got long. But I saw all of this. I watched, I think, about the first 5 episodes in one go. It was dropping weekly, and then I thought I'm going to wait for the rest to come out, and then I'll do the next 5. I thought this was really good. It did get a bit silly in places. It kind of, broke the rules of its own reality a little bit over what was kind of, acceptable, particularly in terms of the lack of protection the family get in the kind of the last episode. But Javier Bardem probably gives the performance of his career to date. Christopher Walken would be great as Lance. I agree. Patrick Wilson, probably his best performance to date, although we have seen him play the troubled dad at least twice that I can recall. Juliette Lewis comes back in this, and there's kind of she's the connective tissue from the movie to this, and you can interpret it that she's the same character but severely deranged if you want. There's just about enough to play with, but then there's plenty that says that's bollocks. So this is a standalone. It's kind of the same plot, but they've made a lot of changes, and again, some of those changes do border on the ridiculous. But I was entertained. To use the Enzo test meter, I was entertained. I wasn't bored. Acting was good. Tense moments. There was even some stuff that made me laugh. It just stretched the credulity ruler a little bit, but overall, 8 out of 10, definitely worth a watch. Who else has seen it? Anyone?
No, I ain't seen it yet.
I watched the first episode.
Check it out now. It's all out.
Yeah.
Is Javier the husband or is he the stalker?
He's
the Robert De Niro
stalker.
character.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. As a fellow Cuban, I want to endorse that criminal archetype. He's good and menacing. He better get it done, though, on behalf of all of us.
Miss Sparkles thinks that RuPaul should play you Enzo in the Dork Side.
Okay.
Do worse.
He needs to put on weight.
Darth Plato, however, votes for Pauly Shore as Enzo. All right, next week we'll do a poll. Who should play Enzo in the Dork Side in the movie version? I'll put those two choices on, and you can come up with a couple more. And then
it's like a Dork Side cinematic universe or something.
That's right. Yeah. Of course, Enzo has final say over whether he agrees to this actor to play him. So, yeah. Okay, Enzo, what you got coming up, bud? You want to plug anything?
Yeah, I'll be on AJ's later tonight. Abomination AJ's Tighten Up Tuesday, and I don't know what we're watching after that in his Discord, something. And then Wednesday's movie is going to be a full-length commentary for the movie The Heavenly Kid. Me and Leon watched that a while back, and I got it up past copyright, put a streaming condom on it, but it's full-length. So Heavenly Kid, it's a movie about a greaser who dies and comes back in the 80s as a ghost to help a nerdy kid become cool.
I remember that movie.
Really dumb.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun though. I like Purgatory. I liked their Purgatory.
Yeah, it was like
apparently
a
I've got a
train
super chat
station.
I must have missed. I do apologize. Darth Plato for $2 says the sequel should have been called They Die to They Live.
I agree.
That's actually a great idea. And thank you for reminding me, mate. Sorry.
Coming out starring Bill Gates and Anthony Fauci.
I think that would have been a good idea. The sequel with that title, if you'd done it like maybe, I don't know, early 2000s, that would have the timing. Whether it would go now, I don't know.
Or You Die, We Die.
That's the third one. The third one is
there
We
you
Die.
go. We
Die Together is the third one.
Yeah, the trilogy. Good idea, Lance.
Enzo, thanks very much for that. Well, if John's interested, I'll be happy to take the reins and do some of the heavy lifting. Just to mention to people, I've got 3 industry interviews in the next couple of weeks. Funnily enough, I don't have it. I did have some booked for this week, but they got moved. So I don't have any for this week. So potentially I could do one Friday at 9 p.m. I've got a hospital appointment at 7, but potentially I could do one at 9. Potentially I could do one tomorrow. So if anybody knows a creative who wants support, get them to get in touch with me. The following week, however, I have Aisha Scott coming in 2 hours before the Nielsen ratings. So my voice is going to be proper screwed next week. Fortunately, that's why I have the Enzo 9000 app to cover me on all bases. She is the filmmaker who made this, the filmmaker's sort of toolkit book. It's a really, really good book. It's also an app, and it kind of, it's sort of like a planner for your movie, gives you all these goals and stuff like that, right from the development stage all the way through to production. So it's a really it's a good little book. She's a filmmaker as well. We both used to go to Anna Scher's acting school. She's going to be coming in. Enzo, I sent you all the deets for the thumbnail for that already. So if you check your email, you'll see I forwarded her deets. Then also I have coming on for an interview. I think the same week I've got. Sorry, actually slightly earlier than that. So on the 12th of August, I've got an interview Wednesday, and on the 13th I've got one. So on the 12th I've got Tommy Gale, who's an actor just starting out. So we're going to talk about the challenges of that. He's also got his fingers in some other pies. And then on the 13th, I've got independent director Hayden Hewitt. Look him up. He's got a load of credits on IMDb. Really interesting guy. He's in the middle of a movie at the minute, so we're going to try and support him, get him a bit of extra PR. And yeah, then Aisha Scott, like I said. I think also I've got an actress coming on called Jean Nicholas, who has got a play coming out as part of the Fringe Festival in Camden. And we're going to be getting her on for an interview. Now, at the moment, that clashes with the Ibiza podcast next week, so I've got to reschedule. Either one's got to go. I think I'm going to get her on before it, and then we'll just do the Ibiza podcast as per normal. And then last week of August, I've got an interview with Kim Sims, also somebody else from the film industry. And then the week after that, I've got Meet the Authors with 2 writers coming on. So I've got a whole load scheduled and more of those to come. Yeah. So Northern, quick plug for anything?
Red Heat on Friday, and I'm going to try and organise a Red Dwarf Series 3 stream on Saturday.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Admiral T, you kind of covered your stuff earlier, but feel free to drop any links into the chat that you want to.
Yeah, thanks.
Critic out, same, because I really want to get off because I'm feeling a bit rough. So thanks
tonight.
Panel.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Lance. Guys, check out my Spider-Man video essay if you get a chance. Thank you so much.
No problem. Yeah, everybody, great to have you on. Great to have such a fantastic panel. And also the chat, love it when you're lively. Always keep it polite, and yeah, never any politics. But you were very well behaved. You skirted around it a little bit, but yeah. So as we said, vote for Pedro, as Darth would say. Oh, sorry, I think I got that wrong. All right, we'll catch you again real soon, guys. Thanks. We'll see you all again real soon.